stupid. All right, we're live now. So
Wait. Wait, are already?
yeah.
God damn.
Wait, what? What? Why?
We're already live?
Dude, it's
didn't
like
expect
9.
it.
Okay, for the viewers who aren't fucking watching this, it's like 9:43 in the morning. This is very early for the both of us.
Yeah.
And Keshav doesn't even drink coffee, so he's a loser.
Yeah, just stuff happens, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. You know?
Why, dude? What happened, bro? You turned up last night or some shit?
No. Well, this is I guess my fault, but like, I was playing a game with friends at like 12. I'm like, I'll only play for like 30 minutes.
Look at this gamer right here.
And I ended up playing to like 2.
Let me guess. 2K? 2K or Fortnite?
We played a little Fortnite.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keshav's gamer friends. Yeah, Keshav sucks at Fortnite, for those of you who know. He's like one of the worst players of video games I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I'm terrible.
No, even at 2K, I beat him every time.
I'm so much better than you at 2K.
You're not. No, you're so bad at 2K. Dude, you're not good at 2K. I'm so good at 2K. I'm the best.
You're just trolling.
Keshav, I'm the best first quarter 2K player you've ever seen. You've admitted that.
You're good in the first quarter.
I play the best.
Completely unraveled.
I play the best first quarters of all time. I don't care.
If the first quarter was all that mattered, you would always win. But
exactly. Because I play the best fucking first quarter ever.
That's not the case, though.
Yeah, but I play a good fourth quarter, too. I always make a comeback.
But you don't win.
I do beat you. You suck,
not
bro.
Really, bro. You know I'm better. Okay?
Oh, that's cap. That's fat cap, bro. Dude, for the viewers who are listening and who are watching this, the 93% male audience, I checked my analytics. I'm up to 93% males. It was 100. It was 100, but now it's 93.
How do you get like analytics like that detailed?
Anchor.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
really cool.
Yeah, so it was like 93% of your audience is male. I was like, that's better than the 100 it was fucking 7 days ago.
Oh shit,
dude! Yeah, dude. Okay. I can't have these sausage fests out here. We gotta have some fucking diversity.
We gotta, diversify it a bit. Yeah,
exactly. All right, you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
So,
and just to clarify, what are we? I have a lot that I just put down. So what are we saying as childhood TV shows?
No. So the question for today is I wanted to do something a little lighter since the first 2 episodes, we're talking about pretty deep stuff and cultural issues and political stuff. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I've had enough of these serious topics for a week. Joe Biden won the election. Let's all relax, okay? And let's do something a little fun. So I decided to do this episode of what are your favorite childhood TV shows? So what I did, I don't know. Didn't I tell you the criteria? I said it was like between the ages of 0 and 12. That's what I said.
Oh, so any show that I've seen between the ages of 0 and 12.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that can include like does the show have to be like a kind of like a kid's show?
Nah. Like you look at my list, it's very like all over the place. So you have like you could have like shows that you watched on PBS and then shows that you watched on Disney Channel and then
I see.
Then like USA and like all like this stuff. So I mean, I'm pretty sure and I thought you would be like the best guest to bring on since we practically watched all these shows together when growing up. So
yeah, exactly.
So we could talk about them ad nauseum. So yeah, I thought it would be a good thing. So I have like a top 10 list. I don't know how you structured yours, but
yeah, I kind of structured it as top 10 as well. Okay, but it's subject to change.
Yeah, of course.
As my mood goes on.
Call an audible.
Audible. I may have to call it audible.
Dude, maybe. I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, I guess like I would say like with my list, a lot of like my favorite shows of all time that like Friends, How I Met Your Mother, Parks and Rec, Office, all that shit didn't even make the list because it literally all of that stuff I watched when I was a teenager. So
okay, yeah,
like,
same.
None
same,
of that made the list.
Same.
So,
I do have some Nick comedies, some Disney comedies there. I got some of those there.
I think you guys are gonna be a tad bit surprised with some of my picks, and some of my hot takes I have on these shows. But yeah, you want to get into this?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right. What you got at number 10?
And number 10, I was going to start from 1 to 10. Okay, let's go
Nah,
number 10 first.
we're going to 1. We have to build the
We're going
suspense,
backwards.
keep the
All right.
viewers in.
All right. At number 10, I've got so this is I'd say this is a big show for me growing up.
Hype it up,
but
hype it up.
So, I mean, this is a show I watched when I was like 4 or 5, so don't expect anything crazy.
Yeah.
And when I used to watch the show, it just had this theme song that was just a straight up banger.
Oh,
Okay, and it was insane, and it was just like so catchy. You know, it was great. And
Is it
and
every
I really
day
like
when
that
you're
show.
walking down the street?
No, that's too low for that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I figured.
Eventually.
That's what I figured.
It's gonna come eventually.
Okay, so give it to us.
So I was gonna say here, the Backyardigans.
Ooh.
That was a big show for me growing
Didn't
up.
make my list. Didn't even think of it, actually.
Yeah, it was a big show for me growing up when I was like, before I used to go to kindergarten, I always used to watch that. It was probably one of the most annoying things you could hear in my house when that theme song came on.
Yeah.
My brother hated it. He hated it with a passion.
So, like, explain why you like the show. Like, besides the theme song. Like, do you remember anything about it?
I mean, I feel like the premises for shows like these are like, I mean, they're generally not like they're very simple, but like, you know, this one was also a very simple yet imaginative premise, which always draws a kid in.
For sure.
Right? That's how they do it, right? Like it was like just a group of 6 friends.
Like about like a group of friends just like exploring their backyard?
Yeah, they explored their backyard and then they imagine other things. So it's just like, you know, it's just like standard things, you know, kids imagine things, creativity, things like that, right? And I don't know. I think the show is just, they also like in the middle of everyone had like a song. And like there was one song that was, like I always found the music super catchy. I don't know.
It was the bangers of 2005.
The bangers of 2005. Like, this is what Billboard Top 100 was missing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Fuck Drake Cole. So fuck good. Drake. It's the Backyardigans, bro.
Oh, the Backyardigans. It was a great show, I just think.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost actually didn't make the list because there's a lot that I wanted to get in.
I have so much that didn't make the list. Like, you would be surprised. And I have so much I probably didn't even think about. And I'm sure you didn't even think about. Same.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I know I'm missing something.
Yeah. I know. I looked at my list and I was like, are you sure? Like, I know I'm forgetting one.
Yeah, exactly.
One. But I'll mention one of my honorable mentions right now that didn't make the list. And that was Phil of the Future.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorite Disney Channel shows growing up. Me and my brother used to watch it together. It was super fun. Okay. I also like the theme song. It was like Phil of the Future. It's a great show. Also has one of my favorite actors in it from childhood TV, who also plays a character in a show that I have ranked pretty high on this list. So stay tuned for that. But at number 10, I actually have a 2-way tie, if that's possible, between 2 of my favorite Disney Channel comedies growing up. You may hate on me for this. I think you will. Good Luck Charlie and Jesse.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So that's actually like a little later Disney Channel.
A little later,
you know?
probably like
a little later in the
2010, 2011 is when these shows started.
Yeah, 2010, 2011.
Because I think
loved them too.
They're really, really good. I mean, that's like right at like the edge of the boundary, but I figured like, you know, that does count. It's considered quote unquote Disney Prime. So, you know, but even though it's like
I'll give you that one.
Even though it's at like the tail end of it. I think with Jesse, what I liked about it was just like, I thought it was like a really like unique premise, considering like the amount of TV shows that are so similar, especially on Disney Channel. Like, I felt like it had something that was like very different, you know. It was like a nanny babysitting a rich family. Like, you know, it was kind of different. It was unique, and that all the kids were adopted. Like, I thought that was kind of cool. And it was like, you know, everyone was of a different, what was cool about the show was it actually was one of the first shows on Disney to like preach diversity. So like there was like a black girl and there was an Indian guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of stereotypes in the show. I mean, I'm not here to like be like, oh yeah, dude, it was a perfect representation, bro. No. Fucking it's so funny. The same guy who plays Ravi Ross plays Chirag Gupta as well. I'm just like, this man plays the permanent stereotype. Like,
Yeah,
poor
but
guy.
see,
Shout out
that's
Karan, or what is his name? Karan Brar. I think that's his name.
Karan
Yeah.
Brar. Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of, even though like people like really get triggered by Ravi, like if you see like the, like everyone be like, oh, like he's such a stereotype. Disney Channel sucks. I was like, bro, as a kid, like that was kind of cool. Like seeing a brown face on television.
Yeah, it was great.
Like,
it's like when you,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's like when you see Beljeet in like Phineas and Ferb.
Yes.
My sister and I were talking about this, that like, it's not that I'm actually particularly offended by it, but I think some of the jokes they make are actually kind of funny. Even the ones that are not the ones that are stereotypical, but like he's a good addition.
I agree.
I think it was, and talking about that diversity thing, it's like, I mean, let's take it one step at a time. And that was back in 2010, so that's when it already,
yeah.
they took that
I mean,
step.
I was happy that I was on television. Like I was like, I have characters that represent me. Like Ravi was hella funny. I even thought he was kind of funny too. And like they gave him like a girlfriend or like a girl or like a love interest, and I was like, "Let's go, Ravi, let's go!" Like,
when did that happen?
I think that was like,
interest?
I don't know, I don't remember, but I think I remember there was a love interest though. You don't like discount me. This could be like fact checked, and someone could be like, "That's completely wrong." But I think he had a love interest, and also on Jesse, Cameron Boyce was one of my favorite actors on this show. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. But man was really good on this show.
He was good on the show. Yeah.
He was super funny. And like also what I liked about like this kind of era of Disney Channel shows was they weren't afraid to make like jokes that may like touch the line a little bit or like may not be kid appropriate or whatever, because and that's what made them so good. And I think as we go up this list, like you're going to see a lot of shows like that I have a very common theme where it's like these shows are good because they weren't afraid to like toe the line between like kid show and adult. And it had something in there for everyone. Like you look at Disney Channel today, not only is it super commercialized and every other show is like Star Wars or like Belle and Sleeping Beauty, but like it's not like funny anymore because they don't have those jokes. Like they don't have those like, premises that like are, because they're not societally acceptable anymore, which is like where PC plays a role in it. For sure.
And I think the writing in that case is just like, they just got lazy because they can't come up with these like, maybe they feel restricted, but like it just also seems like just the creativity is lacking.
Yeah.
And it's like the only thing you see is like an absurd premise.
Right? For sure.
And that was always common, but like you need at least to have some good writing, some good jokes in there.
I mean, I think
something that appeal to the younger audience.
That's like what like 2000's Disney was built on, right? Was this like good writing, just solid actors, like just funny like jokes like that are relatable to a wide audience, not just like 12-year-olds, but 12 to like my dad could watch Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and laugh a couple times per episode. You know what I mean? Like that is what like solid Disney was built on. And like that's why so many like people within our generation I think resonate with it, is because they can go back to it at 19, 20 and still laugh their ass off. Like you know, and so
I agree there.
But yeah, I mean, I'll talk about the second show that I have on the two-way tie, which is Good Luck Charlie. I think the premise of this show is kind of like, I call it like younger kid How I Met Your Mother, because it's like Teddy's making the video diary.
I actually never thought about that.
Right?
That's
like I thought of that yesterday. I was like, this is definitely like younger kid How I Met Your Mother, right? It's like, so I thought that was like a super cool idea, and like I think that's like a cool thing. Like I thought the video diary was like a really nice touch. I also love Gabe and PJ from this show. Oh my gosh, they're so funny.
They're funny,
and particularly
actually,
Gabe too.
I think Gabe found like roles in other shows too. He was like relatively in movies. Actually, he's relatively successful as an actor.
Bradley Stephen Perry, I mean, I've seen him around. Like he's been in some movies and stuff.
Wait, I think I forgot which one he was in. I don't know, but I think he's
been in some movies though. You're definitely right. I don't know exactly which ones, but he's been in some movies.
Yeah.
And not just like teen movies. Like dude, but you know what I miss the most? Were like those Disney Channel like holiday movies. You know what I mean? Like with the TV shows. Yeah. So it's like when Sweet Life did a movie, or like when fucking Phineas and Ferb did a movie, or like any of them, right? It was so cool. because it was like, whoa, like, dude, the movie special is coming out on December 21st. Like, I'm saving the date, dude. 7 p.m. I'm coming in front of the TV, and like me and you would be like hanging out. We'd be like, dude, watching the Sweet Life movie right now.
Dude, it's so good. It was great.
Yeah,
no, that's what made it. That's what made it so good. Just
I think also just having everyone like at school or like everyone
Talk
was
about
watching
it.
the same shows.
Yeah.
And like it was like on Disney Channel, everyone liked pretty much like the same Disney shows, which was cool.
Mm.
I mean, Phineas and Ferb was a popular one. Phineas and Ferb didn't make my list though, which
It didn't.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So I was like, because I was like trying to find a place for it. I was like, it's not my number 1 favorite show of my childhood. It's not my number 10 favorite show. I couldn't fit it in the middle either. It was just like, like I guess I'll just fucking put it in an honorable mention. But Phineas and Ferb was.
It was hard to get in.
Phineas and Ferb. Yeah. I loved fucking what's his name, Ferb, because he just wouldn't talk and he was shaped like an L.
just the entire like. It's also just another crazy premise. Like the same thing happens essentially in every episode. They have a song that's like catchy.
Yeah.
And like
and they have like those like little musical intros too, like Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. Like,
yeah, it's so
fire.
Good. Yeah. I mean, they've done a lot of things that make the show memorable. Show memorable. Yeah.
Did it end? Did their summer finally end?
They ended it.
All right, good.
I don't even remember what happened in the last episode, but I think they just called it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they were just like, all right, fuck it. I remember there was a movie. We watched the movie. They
went to space.
Yeah. That was kind of sick. And they found out Perry the Platypus was like a secret agent.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick. Pretty
crazy.
Yeah.
One of the most surprising moments of my life. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Shut the fuck up, Keshav. One of the most surprising moments of my life. To keep in mind, guys, Keshav's taste is his favorite movie for a while was Pink Panther 2. So,
dude, this was like when I was in 2nd grade. Okay, it was a banger movie.
Pink Panther 2, bro. Pink Panther 2.
It was a good movie in 2nd grade.
It was not a good movie. It was never a good movie. You liked it because of Aishwarya Rai. Okay, I know you liked it because of
Aishwarya. Dude, come on.
I know you liked it because of her.
No.
Yeah.
Steve
acting
Martin,
like
dude.
Girls have cooties now, Keshav.
Okay, sorry.
But okay, Steve Martin. Pink Panther 1 is way better, guys. So if you're gonna watch it, watch Pink Panther 1.
I agree. That one has Beyonce.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Pink Panther 1 has Beyonce.
What the fuck? They're just loaded with celebrities. All right.
Exactly. It's pretty funny.
You want to do number 9?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, no, you go.
I'm going ahead.
You're going
okay.
First.
And at number 9, I have another. Now we're getting a little bit older. This is a PBS show I used to watch with Anuj a lot, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to put this on the list.
Yeah.
I actually put it on the list over another show that I don't know if it was fair to consider it a childhood TV show, because Anuj actually showed it to me in 3rd grade. It's going to be Psych, right?
What? That low?
No, I wasn't sure if to consider it. No, I wasn't sure if I can consider it.
I considered it.
You considered it?
I considered it first.
Okay, I'm going to have to make some adjustments.
Okay, yeah, call the audible. Call the audible.
Okay, I'm going to call the audible real quick. And
I was like, that low?
No, and what we're going to move up there instead is, okay, I have to move everything down now. Sorry. 1 second.
The Psych adjustment, bro. Psych is that good.
You really have to make adjustments for things that matter.
Oh, I very much consider Psych a childhood show because we watched it when we were
because we watched it in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Like when I was in 3rd grade, you were in 4th grade. Like that's when you showed it to me too.
Yeah.
So okay, wait.
I do not think we should have been watching that as 4th graders, but it's okay.
Who cares? What are they gonna do about it? Yeah. All right. You know what I'm gonna put at 9? I'm gonna take. It just pops out right here when I think of it, And I don't remember watching the show too much, but I watched it. I think it was one of the most enjoyable ones I watched, and the ones I have pretty decent memories of. But Fetch, the Fetch
Ruffman. Wow.
Yeah, Ruffman.
That's what I just totally forgot about Ruffman.
Like when I thought childhood, like what I did was I first got like the ones I watched when I was like younger. So that's why you have Backyardigans, Fetch, right? We'll get a little to like the older, mature days later, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. That show also was just it was just exciting also because it was like
It was
Imagine
like
if
live, right?
it was
Kind of.
live too. Yeah, it was like live too with like people our age at that
Yeah,
time,
I thought it was
right?
kind of cool,
And I was like, just imagine if I was on that show. That would be awesome, you
dude.
know?
That would be
Just
so cool if we were both on
imagine
Fetch Fetch Rough
if
Rough.
you were if you were doing all those things that they were doing with them.
I don't
Like,
really remember what it was. It felt like it was like a game show of sorts.
yeah, it was
Like,
kind of a game show. Yeah,
yeah, which was kind of cool.
it was kind
Except
of,
they didn't win any money.
yeah,
So, I
that
mean,
was kind of depressing.
yeah. But like, I remember it always used to come on after Arthur, and so I had to watch it because I was like, all right,
Yeah,
I have to watch what's after Arthur. And then
yeah,
Word Girl would pop on at 4, and so it was like, okay, I got to watch Word Girl too.
yeah,
Then at 4:30 was Cyber Chase. I was like, oh, can't miss Cyber Chase.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dude, all the classics. What was that 5? I don't remember what was at 5.
On PBS,
Yeah.
I think on 5. Wait, no, 5 they put Arthur, and then they
No,
put
Arthur
something
was
else.
3:30. Arthur was 3. Fetch Fetch Ruffman was 3:30. Word
Really,
Girl
dude?
was 4.
Because I
Cyber Chase
remember
was
coming.
4:30.
I remember coming home after like picking up Pranka from school or something,
Yeah.
and Arthur was always on, and that was always around like 4:35.
Really?
I
Okay,
don't know.
maybe it was a little later. Maybe they actually did another episode of Arthur later because it was
Yeah,
that
that's
good.
possible.
Yeah.
That good. It's just
Yeah.
it's gonna come. We're
Because
gonna
I remember
have
I
the
used to like come home from school. I used to like plop my backpack on the freaking living room couch, and I used to just like make a beeline for the TV and be like, "Arthur's on, let's go."
the Arthur craze is about to happen.
Dude,
We're about to talk about
The
it.
Arthur hype is real, bro. We'll get to
It is
Arthur
real.
later. I think it's high on both our lists. But
Yeah, yeah.
talk more about
That's
Fetch
happened for
Fetch.
sure.
What is good about it?
Um, I mean, for people that don't know what it is, I guess. So there's this dog, right? And he's animated, okay?
He is.
And they basically just are doing these like, I mean, I think there's a certain theme for every episode, and they're doing these like mini adventures or like a mini kind of, I would call it a scavenger hunt as a good way to
That's a
explain it,
good one. Yeah.
right? And where the kids are doing these mini little scavenger hunts, right? And it's like, they're doing like these kind of minor activities, like maybe they'll go to a bakery, whoever can cook a cake first, or the
I
best
remember
cake. Do
that.
you
Yeah.
remember that? Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
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 And like, it's basically, just like a mini, it's just like, and the kids are kind of like having fun at the same time. I don't know. And
It
then
was just a vibe. It was
the
a
energy
vibe.
kind of feeds off on you. It's a
Yeah. And you're
vibe.
like, let's go. Let's go.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Yeah. It
It's
was
like
cool.
exciting.
I
And it
remember.
was
Yeah.
really different than every other kid show, I would say, because
For
it
sure.
took the the animated part of it, it took the real part of it, kind of put them together,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which you normally don't really see. And I don't know, but I would just say the way they like kind of just structured the shows, I guess
And
would drew
kids
me into it
also
at the
didn't
time.
get very many game shows back then.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like
this was
it
like
was like the
first one.
first kind of its kind. I don't really know if it was the first of its kind, but it was like very abnormal for the time.
It was one of them. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know if it's still
definitely.
on or like Sid the Science Kid took its place, but like no clue.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, dude, like PBS Kids was very much like a thing of the 2000s. Like it was like
Yeah.
if you went to pbskids.org and played the fucking games on each of the shows, like you were a G.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I played
That's fair.
Cyber Chase the Quest many a time.
Oh, really? The
I
games
could
were
never win. Cyber Chase the
yeah.
Quest is literally impossible.
Oh, really? You should
Yes.
play it now.
It's so
It's
hard.
insane. I think there were some other games. I forgot.
There's a
I don't
few
know.
others, but they were like easy. Arthur didn't have a game or anything, so
Wait, no, it had one. I
Arthur
remember
was like
playing.
you could write letters to the characters and they would
Yeah,
respond.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think I wrote a letter to Arthur when I
I'm
was like
looking right
5.
now. They have a game called An Elwood City Thanksgiving. Damn.
What?
All right, we could talk about this when we get to Arthur. I
Yeah,
guess.
we'll all talk. What we have severe arthritis. Haha, get it?
Yeah,
that
arthritis. Oh, that's a
was
good
good.
one,
That was
actually.
actually a good one.
Yeah, because it actually made sense, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'll do my number 9 real quick. This is a
yeah. Go
show
ahead.
that I watched when I was really young. Probably until I was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Probably I would rank it top 6 theme songs all time with TV
Mhm.
shows. Also,
Mhm.
beautiful music. Love it. It's catchy as
Same.
hell. Bangers in 2002 or 3. And that's Caillou.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did you rank Caillou?
I didn't rank Caillou. I didn't even think of
Wow. There you
Caillou.
go. So, well, I know Caillou has turned into like a cult figure, and many people have like, come up with severe theories about Caillou and how he's like a cancer patient and shit.
And have offered their hate for him. There's a
Yeah.
whole subreddit called Caillou hate.
I don't know why.
People
What?
like I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Like he was just a kid who was for it. Each day he grew some more. Oh, you see that? Quote of the theme song.
Yeah, nice.
But no, I mean, it was just like, I don't know. It was a nice show to watch when I was like 4 years old, like Caillou would go to grandma's house and then he would go to,
Yeah.
bother Rosie. And then but it was really funny when Caillou would get really angry, like his face would turn like it would look like a volcano was about to come out of the top of his little head.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, his head was bigger than my whole body. But yeah, no, I thought the show was like pretty cool. I mean, it was like, looking back on it, obviously it has no rewatchability whatsoever. I'm sure when we have children, we're going to be showing them that, and that stupid theme song is going to get stuck in our head again. But
It's gonna be terrible. Yeah.
but it's like a solid show, and there's a reason that Caillou is like so popular amongst young parents and 3-year-olds for years. Not
Yeah,
only me,
exactly.
but like my older brother, and like I'm sure, like I don't know when Caillou was made, and I don't know if they're still making new episodes. But it always pissed me off when like the voice actors of these shows changed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Dude, oh my
We'll get
god.
into it with Arthur. We'll get into it
We'll
with
get into it with Arthur. We'll get into it.
But like with Caillou, like he would go from like sounding like a 4-year-old to like a 20-year-old man within like a season. He'd be like, "Oh my god, Dad, that's so cool!" To like, "Oh my god, Dad, that sounds sick." I'm like, "Bro, what? Did you start like smoking? Like what?" Like, it was so
Yeah, it was
confusing.
terrible.
Like
Oh my god.
as someone who was a loyal watcher of the show for 4 years, like I wish that there was like the same voice actors, but they kept
Yeah.
changing.
They changed it too much. They changed it way too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but where did fucking Arthur, or not Arthur, where did he have like, was there a name to his city? Like I know Arthur was Elmwood, right?
Elwood, yeah.
Elwood
Arthur was
City.
Elwood. And then Caillou's was, let me see.
I don't know.
Caillou. Oh my god. I'm already now getting reminded of shows that I just forgot to put.
I'm
I
just a
would've put.
kid who's 4 each day.
Oh my god. I now I'm remembering so many things.
Yeah, I know. It's like it brings back unwanted memories that you don't have.
Oh man. Oh man. No, I'm just even saying for shows. I'm just remembering some shows.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
apparently
even
there's like
include.
hella like there's this Canadian cult group based on Caillou. It's like it's pretty funny. Like I looked
Like,
it
what
up
do they do?
on Wikipedia. Just look it up, like Caillou cult. It'll come up. I'll do it right now.
Cult. The cult of Caillou. You
Yeah.
see him, his bald head glittering in the light.
Exactly, bro.
His
There's
voice is
they have a
drawn.
Twitter. They have a Twitter.
Yeah. The light, the choking light, gripping us with greatest power. Be afraid. They have finally come for us and no one will be spared. Okay, this is just weird.
Yeah.
Send
Dude.
responses to hashtag what do you do for Caillou?
Also, like Caillou is such a unique name. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
imagine if someone like walked in and like met me for the first time. I was like, "Hi, I'm a new. Nice to meet you." They're like, "Hi, I'm Caillou." I would just never be able to look at them the same.
Hate Caillou because he's bald. I don't think the show would have been as popular if he had hair.
Yeah, dude, it created an internet meme.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the image was created.
So apparently the show is done. Did you know that?
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
You finished it? They finished it?
Yeah, so apparently.
What happened to Caillou?
I mean, I have no clue what the last episode was, but
yeah.
Apparently it was over in 2010, so it finished about a decade ago.
Damn, that's kind of.
But also, the show apparently was also based on like a French thing. So like, Rosie's name is like Mousseline, and like Boris is the dad's name.
Boris?
Yeah, but he used to just call him Daddy. So I was
I never heard. You never hear the name.
And Doris is the mommy's name.
Doris?
Doris. Yeah.
Named their son Caillou. Oh my god. Oh,
bro, I'm so confused. I don't even remember these characters, bro. I'm looking at him. Leo.
I think is that a dog?
That's like his friend. Gilbert was the cat.
Oh, it's his friend.
Yeah,
okay,
and then Grandma and Grandpa don't have names.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, see, okay. There's actually a study that was done. So it was like the study had 3 groups of 4-year-olds engaged in activities. One group watched Caillou and the other one watched SpongeBob. And the third group drew pictures. After 9 minutes, the children were tested on mental functions. Those who watched Caillou had very similar results to the group that drew pictures, both of whom performed significantly better than that group that watched SpongeBob. Bro, okay,
But
I'll
I
get
mean,
into.
I don't want to. I hate those studies, bro.
I watched both. I'm just
Yeah,
saying. So
yeah,
we'll get into SpongeBob later. It's on my list. I don't know if it's on yours,
it is
but
on my list,
oh, okay,
definitely.
good,
Yeah,
dude. You cannot have a childhood show list and not have the SpongeBob SquarePants, the GOAT show.
exactly. Yeah,
It's not my number one for those of you who are wondering.
not my number one either. It's close
Anyway,
though.
you want to get into your 8?
Yeah. Wait, did you give your 8?
I didn't give my 8.
Should
It's
I
your
go?
turn for 8. Yeah, go
Oh,
for
okay,
it.
okay. So for my 8, I'm gonna actually do a little audible again. Now that these shows are all coming back to my mind, and I just can't, kind of remember a lot of things. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna put Phineas and Ferb here. We talked about it for a bit,
yeah, we can talk about
but
it a little more.
I used to watch the show a lot, like with my sister. Like we
Yeah,
both really liked it, and just the same thing that you were mentioning. You have the guy with the L, and then the guy's
Ferb,
head it Ferb,
and
and then
then
Phineas's head is a
Baljeet.
triangle. Beljeet and Buford. It's just
Dude, Buford's the gang. Baljeet, Buford, Isabella, Candace, Jeremy.
Candace,
That
Jeremy.
was the
Yeah,
gang,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
And the
It was
mom
a
and dad.
it was a great show. Like it was just
Yeah.
like, and even though you knew what was gonna happen each episode, right? She's not gonna bust her brothers, and then the person she's gonna
There was
kill at the
always
last
that
minute.
element of suspense. It was like, will
Yeah,
they?
there's a lot of sense.
It's like,
Yeah,
what if
and
it
like
does happen? She came so close a couple times. So
she
close.
came so close. She always comes super close, but they just get screwed over,
It's
and
annoying.
you
But
feel
like,
you feel bad, but it's hilarious. I don't know.
True motive of busting her brothers though?
I don't even know. Like, it's just to feel that like once she probably set her eyes on it, she like wants to feel that. How did I describe it?
I think Candace just honestly wanted to be a part of the gang too.
She wanted to just be a part of the gang. I
Yeah,
think
like I think
she
she
joins them one time.
deep down just wanted to be a part of it, right?
Yeah, I think she actually joins them one time too.
That's kind of sick, dude. I would love to see
Yeah,
like a little Candace Jeremy duo.
yeah. That would be interesting. That'd be interesting.
And Perry the Platypus, one of the most unforgettable characters on TV.
Definitely, definitely.
Agent P, dude, Agent
You
P.
know, you
Go.
know what I actually took off the list though to put this
What?
on.
What'd you take off?
Took off Bernstein Bears because
I
I felt like I was,
forgot about Bernstein Bears, bro.
and
What?
if we're talking like childhood TV shows, like I definitely watched Bernstein Bears a lot when I was younger, and I
Yeah, we can call it an
loved it.
honorable mention for you.
Yeah, we can call it an honorable mention because
Yeah,
I
talk
mean,
about
I
it.
actually I wanted to keep it at 8, but I already had Backyardigans there and Fetch. I felt like I was doing too young, right?
Yeah.
But no, that was I don't know. It was just the theme song again. A big thing for me, as you'll notice in a lot of these shows, are
Theme
is the
song played a
music.
huge part, bro.
Yeah, it
Sure.
played a huge
But
part in gripping me in.
was Bernstein Bears like a show that like really, really like enjoyed? Like, were the plot lines good?
And yeah, that's a good question, right? Like I feel like all of these shows on these 1 through 10 list, I could watch an episode again, and I'm not gonna like be like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
I
And
can't watch an episode of Caillou. Like, I can
okay,
tell you
that's
that
fair.
much. Yeah.
Bernstein Bears, I feel like is kind of one of that show. I can I can see like one episode and be like, okay, this is fine,
All
but
right, I'm
then
gonna
like
top out.
I'm not watching more. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I can't.
Uh,
I get you
yeah,
on that for sure. I mean, it's
I
just
think
like this was like a certain time in our lives, right, where we enjoyed these
exactly.
things, and it's like take them for what they are. We're older now. We like a lot of different shows, and I wanted to do like a sequel episode with another one of my friends about like what are your favorite shows now, and then
Yeah,
do a
yeah,
top
yeah.
10, and because it's completely different. Right. I think there's maybe one of these shows or a couple shows on this list that may make that top 10, but that's about it. I mean, because
Hmm.
the time has just changed.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. It's
so
really
different.
changed.
And it's just, but like these shows are awesome. And like I would still go back and watch Good Luck Charlie and Jesse, and I think I could be okay. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like those are shows like I would show to like my future children. Like I think
Yeah,
they would enjoy
definitely,
those. Like, yeah.
definitely.
Like
When
not the
we get
shit that's on TV now. Fuck that.
yeah,
It's gross. But who
it's
knows? By
terrible.
then we'll probably have holograms. They'll be like, "Can you hologram Good Luck Charlie, Dad?" It's like, it's like you're transported to the room.
It's gonna be so weird, dude. Why do you think people don't like watch these things? Is it just because the digital age has just changed
I
things?
mean, what do
People
you
don't even
think?
watch.
Like, what are
People
kids
don't even watch
watching these
cable.
days? What are kids
I
watching?
feel like parents don't even expose their kids to
Yeah,
cable
because this
anymore. Really,
fucking era
anyways.
is so goddamn sensitive. They're
Yeah.
just they're like, oh, the fucking PJ talked about a girl. Like, oh, that's so mean. Like, it's like,
Exactly.
bruh.
And it's like now they have other options too. They can just go on their iPad and go to YouTube.
No, I don't want to do that shit. I'm gonna
Yeah,
make my kids sit
exactly.
down and watch these classic shows that I grew up with, and because
Yeah,
they're good
yeah.
too. It's not like they're bad.
And also, you find them just because, like, they're airing live on TV, so you kind of have to watch
I mean,
them.
that was like
And
what
you
it
just watched
was.
it.
Was like
Yeah,
back in
that
our
was
day.
great.
Back in our day, I can't
Yeah,
believe I'm saying that. Back in our day, but back in our day, there was no Netflix, right? There was
yeah.
no like Hulu, Disney Plus. All that shit didn't exist. So literally, our
Yeah,
only option was PBS Kids. You turn on the TV, or PBS Kids or Disney Channel, and you're just kind of forced to
or
watch
Nick.
what's on.
Yeah,
Or Nick. Nick at Night bangers in
yeah.
early
Okay.
2000s. Nick at Night was OG shit, bro. You
Great
know what's
stuff.
another one that I bet you totally forgot about? That's one of my favorites, but it's not on my list.
Uh-huh.
George Lopez.
George Lopez. I actually did not watch much of the George Lopez show. I'm gonna be
George
honest.
Lopez is so funny.
Oh,
And I don't
really?
know,
That
like
was
I
good.
think like honestly, because it was one of the first shows that was like about a family of color. And like
Hmm.
it was also just like having like a family of color, it was just so relatable. Some of the shit the parents would do, I was like, bro, that literally happens in my house.
Exactly.
Like,
And
yeah,
like
go.
another show, I guess, on Nick and Night that I actually completely forgot about was Fresh Prince.
Oh, Fresh Prince is one of my
Like,
honorable mentions.
yeah,
I grew up with
I
Fresh Prince.
I'll put that also honorable mention. I used to watch it sometimes
I
too.
used to watch a lot of Fresh Prince.
I actually
Um,
been watching like now too. It's great. It's
Fresh
the
Prince
writing
age is
is top
amazing.
tier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone considers
uh,
Fresh Prince one of the top tier shows of their childhood. And I think that that's
definitely.
very rightfully so. I just personally didn't grow up with it like or
Yeah,
as
yeah.
heavily because it just wasn't as on in like
Exactly,
the
exactly.
2000s. It was very much a 90s thing. So like
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure if you talk to like my older brother, he would probably watch it growing up.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
it's a great show. You can go back and watch it now too. It's still as
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I actually watched it a little bit now. It's still really good.
Yeah, Fresh
It's
Prince,
great.
and that's how like a young Will Smith, man, he killed it. He
He
kills that
killed
show.
it. Yeah,
And
he was
Carlton
so good.
is
Yeah,
that show. The dynamic is just so good.
they actually just did a reunion. I think
Really,
there was like a trailer for it. They're putting on an HBO Max, but
dude, they're
yeah.
doing a Friends reunion too, which made me so happy. If they're doing a
Oh
Fresh
my god.
Prince reunion, you know why there's reunions are coming up though, right? It's because
Just
like
to
quarantine has just popularized these shows
Oh
again.
yeah,
Like
that's
it's
fair.
revitalized. That's what's so dope. Like that's have you heard about the Drake and Josh reunion?
That's happening?
We'll get into that later. But yeah, I
Oh
mean,
my god. Yeah,
it's
we'll
good.
get
It's
into it
been
later.
confirmed for 2021. So
Oh, really?
like, and New Girl confirmed, or like not New Girl's still a rumor, but it's probably gonna happen. Friends is confirmed. Like
New Girl ended relatively soon
recently,
though,
yeah,
right? I mean
2017.
recently. Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It ended, but New Girl is just. I mean, it in quarantine. It just got so popular. It still is, right? Like like one of those shows, Drake and Josh is another one of those shows that just revitalized itself in quarantine.
Yeah.
Like
Mm,
it's because it's just one of those things that like we all go back to. We're like, oh, like I have nothing to watch on TV. I'm just gonna put on an episode of Drake and Josh, and it's like one episode turns to two, which turns to five, which turns into you watching the whole show. And it's
exactly.
like,
It's
yeah,
just yeah.
it's
It's
just
so
like one of
good.
those things. And that's like another thing I was like gonna mention, like talk about more is just like how quarantine has just brought about this totally new like thing for TV. It's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. But 8 on your list. Go for it.
I just gave my 8.
Oh, you gave your 8, right? What?
You need to give
I
your 8.
totally forgot what it was.
It was Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, Phineas and Ferb, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So my 8 is like one of. It's another like Nick at Night type comedy.
Uh-huh.
It's one of my favorite shows. Or not one of my favorite shows. It has a great theme song. So again, back to Keshav's theme of like good shows have banger theme songs. The show has a banger theme song.
Yeah.
Has a character from one of my favorite TV shows. Or Miranda Cosgrove is the star of this show, so I guess you guys presume
Ooh,
it's iCarly. So I got iCarly at 8.
nice. Nice.
iCarly is, I feel like it's the poor man's version of Drake and Josh. A lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people say, oh, like it's so much better. There are a lot of people who are like, iCarly sucks. I feel like iCarly is one of those shows you either love it or you hate it.
Mhm.
I'm somewhere in the middle. Because I like lots of parts of it, and I think it's a really it was a solid show for its
Mhm.
own right. But
Yeah.
I do think it took away. I do think the creators at Nick took Drake and Josh off the air because they wanted to make iCarly a thing, which makes me sad.
Yeah, and I think what they did apparently was they gave Miranda Cosgrove the option to continue for another season of Drake and Josh, or get her own show. And
Miranda.
yeah, I mean, it's fine. I would say, I mean, they're different shows in my opinion. Still, like the
Yeah,
comedy style is similar, but they are
very
different. But
similar.
I like love, like you know, like Spencer. Like
Spencer,
Spencer's probably
it kills this TV show.
is
Oh
probably
my
one of my
god,
favorite characters in like shows in
that
general.
era. Yeah.
Yeah, and
No,
you know
he's a
how
great character.
yeah, he's great.
He
And you know
kills
how
this show.
like he went from like Crazy Steve and Drake and Josh.
Exactly, right?
To,
To
yeah,
Spencer.
it's insane.
I
Yeah.
no, you have you heard about the fan theory?
Oh, what's the fan
Where it's
theory?
like Crazy Steve kidnapped Megan from Drake and Josh, and then like they went to go live their own life in this new city, and they changed their identities.
That is so weird.
Isn't
Wait,
that
so
strange though?
he
It could
kidnapped
be a
her.
theory. So Crazy Steve kidnaps Megan from Drake and Josh from their house. He drives them to a whole new city, and he starts them this whole new life. And so the show is basically Crazy Steve and Megan, except they changed their identities.
And what would Megan do though? Like why would she be okay with that?
I have no clue, but that is just a fan theory. It's a Reddit theory. It's not like validity or anything. There's no validity to it.
Oh my god.
But it's also that's why I call it like a lot. In a lot of ways, you can see it. Like a bunch of the Drake and Josh cast members return on the show. Like it's
Hmm.
very much like a sequel to Drake and Josh or a sequel, right? In a lot of ways, like except Drake Bell and Josh
Yeah.
Peck don't come back, but it's kind of like one of those shows that really is like a very much a sequel to what Drake and Josh was. And
Uh-huh.
they were
Uh-huh.
just trying to
Yeah.
adapt to the new era, right? Like the show revolves around like the web series and like
Exactly.
filming like that. It's very 2000s if you go watch it again. Like, oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh. Like you
Yeah.
watch this shit in 2020, you're like, bro, web series, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah.
it's so different. And
It's weird.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think like I still believe that I think like Nick should have wrote it out one more season with Drake and Josh because the last I mean we can get into it when we talk about Drake and Josh because we for sure both have Drake and Josh on the list. But
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, but like I feel like I don't know, Drake and Josh ended really poorly, but that's for that conversation later. But that being said,
Hey.
like I still had the iCarly toothbrush. Do you remember the toothbrush?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had one for a minute, dude. The
That was
iCarly
pretty
toothbrush
cool.
was pretty cool, dude.
It was great.
Yeah, and like I mean, it'd be kind of cool if you like turned it on and it played the theme song. You're like brushing your teeth, it's like I
Oh
know
my god, that'd be
you
insane.
see.
Another great theme song.
Dude,
Another great theme
that's what I
song.
said. This "Leave It All to Me" is a banger. It's still like
It's
I
great.
added it on Spotify too. It's a great song.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good
Drake
song.
Bell. You know Drake Bell's on that song too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
He's been on the
the,
show as well.
the
Yeah.
Drake and Josh connections on this show don't stop. Like,
Yeah, it isn't.
yeah, those two shows are very interconnected. But
You know, Crazy Steve kidnapped Megan, and now Drake Bell is making music for them.
yeah,
Wait,
but
oh my god. Okay,
what?
here's a way to literally. Can't you just contradict this theory by saying that? So Drake was in an episode of iCarly.
Wait, let me see. Okay, hold on. I'll look up the iCarly fan theory. iCarly Drake and Josh fan theory.
Let's see. Let's see. Just to get it.
Oh,
I'm
see
reading it
the
actually
totally
right now.
legit iCarly theory. Here you go. Okay, so here it is. Doesn't everyone ever find it suspicious that at least two of the characters from Drake and Josh became the main characters of iCarly? In case you don't know what either of those shows are. Okay, so basically it explains what iCarly and Drake and Josh is. So iCarly is
Mhm.
actually set in Seattle. Do you remember that? I did not
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So there's a theory. Okay. Crazy Steve murdered Drake and Josh along with their families, kidnapped Megan, escaped to Seattle with her, made her pretend that he is her older brother, changed his name to Spencer and her name to Carly so that no one would be suspicious. Spencer made up a fake background story to their lives, claiming that their father was in the United States Navy and their mother was presumably dead. But wait, there's more. In one of the earlier episodes of iCarly, Spencer and Carly's grandfather arrived to take Carly with him to a town known as Yamaka because he felt that Spencer was not responsible enough to be Carly's caregiver. At one point in the episode, he said that they would be staying in the Parker Nichols Hotel until he finally came to take Carly to Yamaka with him. In Drake and Josh, Drake's last name was Parker and Josh was Nichols, thus giving the idea that they had something to do with the hotel.
Pause. That's just something they do in Nick shows. They would name it after certain people.
Yeah, I mean, they did like Schneider's Bakery, which was like made after Dan Schneider. But like, hold on, there's more.
Okay.
The truth is that Drake and Josh survived and used the inheritance from their parents on the event of their death to start a hotel that they called the Parker Nichols Hotel, named after the two brothers. They sent Carly's grandfather, who was really some random old man, they paid to go and take Megan from Crazy Steve, only to fail. Saddened by this, okay, this is getting very dark, but okay. Saddened by this, just wait. This is really funny. Saddened by this, Drake and Josh became addicted to meth, only to convert the hotel into a meth house, which was eventually resulted in them being found out and the hotel being shut down for good. Broken drug addicted, Drake and Josh stole a stash of meth from a local dealer and escaped to the sewers with the drugs, where for the rest of their lives they did them and hallucinated that they were living in the old life in their house in San Diego with their parents and sister. Hold on. In an effort to save Drake, Helen quits her job at the premiere, stole a TARDIS, and became the Doctor and took Drake with her to adventure through space and time. What happened to Josh, you may ask? Well, he managed to cure his meth addiction, clean his life up, and got a new acting job playing a character in the Red Dawn remake. Little did he know that the communist invasion that he fought in the movie was actually happening in real life after Megan grew up, built an army, and sent her people to take over the United States. What the fuck is happening? Okay, yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of this because it gets really weird.
Oh my god. Wait, I'm reading it. Weeks later,
what the fuck just happened?
So are they trolling or what? I'm confused because it said all of this never happened.
But honestly, the meth thing, it makes sense probably up until the
traveling
through space and time.
Yeah. I was like kind of
like even the meth thing makes sense. Drake and Josh could totally be a hallucination.
Yeah.
It
could be.
Oh
my god.
That's a trip. That's a trip.
That is trip, dude. I can't right now. Like my mind can't.
That's like a very dark theory. I remember there was a lighter theory though.
Okay.
So see, this is the one because it got confirmed in 2018. So it was like so Freddie from iCarly confirmed the theory.
He confirmed the theory.
So So Nathan Kress confirms the theory that okay. So essentially there was this is another theory.
Oh, about B movie.
It's about how the B movie and Freddie's mom are connected. And Nathan Kress went and confirmed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Freddie Benson is part B. That was the theory. But yeah, there's some crazy theories about Drake and Josh and iCarly, and we can get into that later. I don't want to fucking spend a bunch of time. Yeah. But this one on Reddit, it has way more validity. That's the one I was talking about. Like it doesn't have any of the meth shit. So look into that later.
I saw the Reddit one too.
Look into that later. But yeah, anyway, Drake and Josh is crazy. Clearly fucking people are craving Nickelodeon. That theory is insane.
It's a weird theory. Yeah.
Who does, Keshav? It could have just been a meth trip the whole time.
Could have been. You never know.
Helen takes Drake and travels with them through space.
That was once I read that, I'm like, this is just ridiculous.
Oh, man.
This is ridiculous.
But, I mean, I think I do. Okay, I'll point out some cons with iCarly. I think the show does lack a lot of development. I think it really does drag in the last few seasons. Because I don't know, like Carly and Freddie, like that main whole romance just like doesn't go anywhere for a very long time. And Carly's like, I want to friend zone you. And then she like goes and makes out with him. And then she's like, nah, JK. It's like, bruh, this sucks.
And then then just Drake and Josh is just.
That's why Drake and Josh moves quick. It's just like bam, 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 bam.
Exactly.
And there's development of both characters. In this show, there's such little development. And Sam, I honestly don't like Sam, the character.
Really? I think she was
irritating.
fine, but I think like Gibby and Spencer were my
Gibby's a
two favorite
god, dude.
characters. Yeah.
Gibby became a meme, and also I heard Gibby died.
What? Dude, what are
Yeah,
these things you're hearing?
no, like the actor died.
Oh, really?
I heard. I don't know if it's true though.
Are you sure? Search it up.
Gibby
Yeah.
died.
No, he's still alive.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, thank
Noah
God.
Monk.
God
I was
damn.
okay. I heard something about Gibby dying. I don't know what it was.
Probably another fan theory, dude.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I look into way too many fan theories, I guess. But fan theories are interesting. I like how people come up with stuff.
Drake and Josh kidnapped Gibby as ransom.
Exactly. Dude, what if the Drake and Josh reunion is about how they try to get Carly back from iCarly, and it's like a whole Nick trip from the 2000s? It would be incredible.
Oh my God, it would be. I would just be shocked.
But
about what's
that
going
first
on,
part of the
dude.
fan theory though would be like an incredible episode. Just like Drake
Yeah.
and Josh build a hotel, build themselves up, use
They
their
mess
parents'
it up like
inheritance.
usual.
It's like the episode starts with like Crazy Steve going and murdering all of them, right? And then
Yeah.
they're dead, but then they're really not dead. They like wake up and they're like they give them each other that look like hug me, brother. It's like that's
Dude, this would not be something on Nick. This would be like on
it would be a
HBO.
fucking what is it? Dateline.
Yeah, Dateline or something. I don't know.
Anyway,
dude.
so
Yeah.
enough fan theory talk.
Is it my 7?
Yeah, it's your 7. Go for it.
Okay, my 7. I have 2. So
Okay.
I put Sweet Life of Zach and Cody
For sure.
/ Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
Okay.
Now,
you want to talk about Ned's Declassified?
yeah, sure. I'll go ahead about that. Because I'm assuming. Do you have Sweet Life?
I do in this exact
Okay,
spot.
so
we have it
we
in the
can
same
talk-
spot. Yeah.
We can talk. We can talk about it. When
Yeah,
we
we
get
could talk
to-
about Sweet Life.
Yeah. So for Ned's Declassified, for people that don't know the show, right? It's just a kid in middle school, named Ned, right? And it's basically he has this guide for surviving high school. And each episode is about certain things that happen in high school, right? Like maybe lunch, rallies, exams.
Yeah.
Right? He gives his like advice, right? And like the characters, like he just has a friend that's a girl, and then another guy who's his friend. I don't know. Their names are like Cookie and like I forgot the other name. Mose. Yeah. And like these 3 people, they're just like friends in school. Just some crazy things happen. Another big character is actually the janitor. But yeah, it's just like I don't even know how to describe it because it's also like kind of one of the absurd plots, but it's like they're just in middle school, like they each have their own kind of thing that's going on in each episode that's related to the theme of the episode. And I don't know why I found it very funny. It's not like the writing was exceptional or anything, but it was kind of that humor that was more like, I don't know what I describe it as, slapstick, right? It wasn't really the writing that did it. It was more just the expressions, the events that actually took place.
For sure.
Like how they kind of exaggerated their emotions. I guess at that age for me, like I enjoyed it. Like I watched it like when I was in like 5th grade. I started it, I think, or maybe I watched it in 6th grade too. But I even enjoyed it then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's good. Can you still see yourself watching Ned's now?
I actually have tried.
It's a show that like reruns a lot. I see it all the time, but I never personally watched it.
And like there's like this one character, Coconut Head, he's a huge meme. But yeah, it's just like there's some very memorable moments from that show.
It gets talked about a lot. Ned's Declassified. Yeah. I think it was also I think my brother used to watch Ned's Declassified. I never watched it though. I was never a big fan.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. But maybe I should get it.
No. No, I don't think you'll like it now, but I mean, I don't know.
At 7, I have Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Both of us grew up on this. We
definitely
love Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And we're talking Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, not On Deck. I'm making that very clear. On Deck is good, but it is not good enough to be on this list, in my opinion.
Definitely not. Definitely.
I think with On Deck, I think On Deck, honestly, it wasn't as good because it's missing Maddie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Zach and Cody had Maddie, and Maddie carries Zach. Maddie, to an extent, is one of the best characters on Zach and Cody. And Esteban. The characters,
Esteban, yeah.
the characters on Zach and Cody are so funny. Like even now, like that because it's like first of all it's in a hotel, which is super unique. Do you also know the show was based on Paris Hilton's life loosely?
Who's Paris Hilton?
London Tipton is supposed to be Paris Hilton.
Really?
Yeah, because you know how they live in the Tipton.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like based on. She's supposed to be based on Paris Hilton. It's supposed to be based on a lot of Paris Hilton's life.
So so Zach and Cody, are they in any relation?
I don't think they're related. I think they were just. I think they're just kind of there, but okay, it's weird because I would figure like it would be based on London's life. And London would be the main character, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
But no, I think Sweet Life on Deck is one of my probably favorite, or not Deck, but Zach and Cody is one of my favorites. I think it's so unique. The whole premise of the show is like very like. It's very different than a lot of TV you'll ever see. You'll even see today. Like that was one of the kid comedies, which was just very unique because they're growing up in a hotel. They meet all these like interesting characters, you know, and it's like, it's so like, it's just different than anything you'll ever see today. Like
there's some great songs too. The theme song.
Oh, the theme song.
Let's get to that again.
I remember the Deck one. I don't remember Sweet Life is that. Oh, no, Sweet Life is like this is the sweet life, and it's a guitar, right? Yeah. Most of the time, you and me. Yeah, I remember it. On Deck is like catchy though too. Coming home with me. So let's head out.
On Deck was like, let's just be honest though, it is so absurd. They are living on a boat.
Yeah, On Deck is a little whack. I think they took the hotel idea and really went on crack with it. But like when Darren Williams and Kevin Garnett pop up in that one episode, dude, that was crazy.
Oh my god, it was insane.
When Disney Channel celebrity cameos too.
Disney Channel celebrities used to be good too. Dwight Howard.
Yeah, they brought Dwight Howard. Darren Williams was on one episode. Who else did they bring on?
Let's see. Disney Channel.
They had some crazy ones.
Yeah, I think there was, let's see. Okay, I don't want to see celebrity guest stars because now
I don't think there was really any celebrities on Zach and Cody, more so On Deck. There's a lot of celebrities on that show.
Apparently Victoria Justice was in an episode of
dude, the crossover Wizards of Waverly Place and Sweet Life on Deck.
Oh my god.
One of my favorite crossover episodes. Alex Russo goes aboard the SS2. I was like, oh my god. And they're doing magic and shit. And Max is like fucking with Cody the whole time. It's so funny.
Oh my god. Guess who else was in the episode of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?
Who?
I forgot. Jaden Smith as a karate master. What the heck?
didn't remember that. What?
Wow.
He was on that show?
Yeah, he was on that show.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
I've totally forgot Jaden Smith was on that show. But I mean, that being said, On Deck I watched sparingly because it was kind of more so the tail end of my prime.
I agree. Yeah.
You know? I did remember watching the last episode though, and I do remember thinking Maya was really attractive. Zach's like last girlfriend on the show.
Let me see. I'll be the judge of that. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Who is she? Oh, she was played by Zoe Deutch.
I've heard that name before, bro.
I think I've seen a movie with her and James Franco.
Let me see. What's her? Bro, she looks hella familiar. Oh, she's in that show, The Politician. Have you seen that?
No, I've actually not seen that, but I know she's in
NCIS too. So
she's in that show. What's that called? Or that movie, Why Him? I think I've seen this movie.
Why Him?
It was not a good movie.
I heard my mom said it was super funny, but I don't trust my mom when it comes.
It was funny, but it's not.
Yeah, she's in Why Him? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought she was cute in that show, personally.
I agree.
Yeah. And then who else? That was the start of like Debbie Ryan on Disney Channel. Sweet Life on Deck was Debbie Ryan's like that's what got her into Jessie, and then like she got her own show. Yeah, but
when did it end?
Sweet Life on Deck, I think it was like 2011.
Okay.
Yeah, but Sweet Life on Deck, but Zach and Cody was like a classic. Mr. Mosby is one of probably the best adult characters Disney's had.
Definitely.
Fucking Mosby's so funny, dude.
Yeah. So good.
Him and Ted Mosby remind me so much of each other.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like they're kind of the same. They're just idiots.
Same people?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Think about it for a second though. Like, am I wrong?
I mean, kind of.
They kind of have similar traits. They have similar traits.
I mean, it's just hard to compare because like one's like the main
Yeah.
character of like Harry Potter.
Like one of the most iconic TV shows of our teenage years. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the other was
The other one's just a side fucking hoe to Zach and Cody, who's just like
yeah.
Miss Tutwiler from On Deck.
Oh, I remember that name.
She was
I
funny.
don't remember.
They
Dude, I
thought she was.
kind
Do you
of,
remember that episode where they thought she's a stripper?
dude, I actually
Or
don't
like an
remember a lot of
exotic
these
dancer.
episodes.
Dude, they thought she was an exotic
Oh, she's the
dancer.
teacher. She's the
Yeah.
teacher.
And they thought she was an
Yeah.
exotic dancer, and they're like, I saw her ankle. And I was like,
Oh my God.
that episode would be just fucking cut off Disney Channel in today's day
Oh
and
yeah.
age.
In today's day and age.
Like, there is some
They
shit
couldn't do
that
that.
Zach would say. He'd be like, bro, I'd pipe. Like, he'd just say it openly in like 2006. And this was on like
Yeah.
a kids channel. Everyone would just be like, oh, that's hella funny. But like now everyone would be like, bro, what the fuck is
No,
wrong with
you
this kid?
can't. Oh wait, did Mosby have a fling with her
I think they dated
in the
at
show?
the end.
Okay, they dated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they
okay,
got
okay.
together. I don't know. But good show nonetheless.
Yeah.
Very if you haven't watched it, I would actually go back. I would recommend go back and watch it. But Maddie carries
Yeah.
the show. Let's talk about Maddie for a bit. Ashley
Mhm.
Tisdale. I think every guy's first Disney Channel crush.
I agree.
But she was so good in that show. Like, she was so
Yeah.
funny. I think when she came in On Deck for an episode, I was so excited. I was like, Maddie's here.
Yeah.
And like the
Oh,
Disney
she did. Yeah, it came from.
and like when Disney Channel does like the whole woo, like I love when when like a character comes from another show.
It's crazy. It's
So
crazy.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Did she just leave? Did she move on to something else?
who, Ashley Tisdale? I think she got the Cheetah Girls, or was that later?
I think that was later.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think
I
she
don't
got
know.
her own show though, but she was getting more into movies at the time. It wasn't
Oh,
more
okay,
so
okay.
anything else. Yeah.
One episode I remember really well is the bowling one.
Oh, that was a
You
good
remember
one.
that one?
Yeah.
That was in Sweet Life. I don't know. That's one I remember really well for some reason. There's also it's another good one. I just kind of I don't remember now the episodes.
Which one?
Like all of them at least. That's one of them I remember. Let's see. What's another one I remember? I don't know. I don't know. There's one. There's like a ghost. Wait, Ted Bundy's actually in the show.
Ted Bundy? Oh,
Not Ted Bundy. Sorry.
I
What am I
thought you said
saying?
Ted Bundy. I was like, what?
My bad.
It's like that dude died in like 1990, bro.
My bad. Oh my God, that was dumb. I'm sorry. Was he in Ted Mosby? Was he in an episode of Sweet Life?
No way. He was? Josh
No, never
Rayner?
mind.
Yeah, no,
Never
that's what
mind.
I was thinking, bro. I was like, no
Sorry.
way he's in an episode of Sweet Life. But what?
Yeah, I was capping. I was capping.
Definitely capping. But
Yeah.
yeah, Maddie should have been on deck. Would have made the show so much better.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. What's your
My
six?
6? Okay,
Yeah.
my 6 we already talked about. It was iCarly, so we can go to your 6.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, again, iCarly, great show. Crazy fan
Good
theories.
show.
Check them out on Reddit.
Yeah.
But number 6 for me is Boy Meets World.
Oh, interesting. I actually never watched one.
Boy Meets World, for those of you who haven't watched, which I would actually think it's a lot of people, because I don't think a lot of people watch Boy Meets World, really. I think a lot of people may have seen Girl Meets World, because that came out more so like 2014, 2015. It was when Disney Channel was like looking for like a last ditch. And so they were just like, okay, like we got to find something. And so they brought back Boy Meets World for Girl Meets World. And I remember watching the first season. I actually really liked Girl Meets World. I think it's a really good show. And it kind of brought back a lot of interest in Boy Meets World, which is really cool. You know, I think it was a much more like soft version of Boy Meets World. You know what I mean? Like Boy Meets World, like no topic was off limits. But like with Girl Meets World, it was very like, you know, like it was very Disney Channel, like 12-plus-year-old oriented. Yeah. But like I felt like a lot of people like who were younger than us, like slightly younger than us, maybe like 2005, 2006 born, grew up with like Girl Meets World, and it's gonna be like one of the shows they remember for a long time. But
yeah, that's fair.
I remember Boy Meets World. And so it's like one of the first 90s sitcoms I really ever sat down and watched, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's so good. I started watching the show when I was like 12, so I consider it a part of the list, but like also you could argue that maybe it's not, because I finished it when I was later. But the show is just basically about a boy growing up, which is the coolest part. It's just like you just watch a kid grow up, like, and it's just like it's like very sitcom-y, it's very 90s, you know, so you'll see some like the fashion
Classic,
isn't like
classic TV tropes. Or
exactly,
90s
yeah.
tropes. Yeah.
And but like it's just like one of those like it's just about a family and it's about a kid that's just living his life. And I think that's like honestly, I think TV is missing those types of shows. It's just about
I agree.
kids who are just trying to like live life and just be normal and just like go through everyday struggles, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
Obviously you guys probably remember the names Corey, Topanga, Sean. They're all iconic. So many references.
Hmm.
But one of my favorite characters on the show are Corey, Eric, and Sean. Eric is Corey's older brother, and I think he's one of the funniest people who's ever been on television. This dude would just
Mm-hmm.
pull like the way he would. So there's a character named Mr. Feeney. I don't know if you guys have heard of him,
I feel like I
but he was
remember.
like the teacher. He was like the adult mentor figure on the show, and
Yeah.
like Eric had this thing called the Feeney call. So he would say like Feeney very differently every episode. And so like for literally like 150 episodes, he'd say Feeney differently every single time. And it's so funny. Every single time he
Mhm.
does it. It's like Feeney, Feeney. Like
Yeah.
oh my God, it's hilarious. I obviously did a really poor imitation of
Is this
that.
in Boy Meets Girl or Boy
No,
Meets
this is
World?
Boy
Or
Meets World. Yeah.
this is Boy Meets World. Alright.
Go watch it if you haven't. It's so
Mhm.
good. I
Yeah.
think it's all on Hulu too. They put all 7 seasons or whatever on it.
Yeah.
But Mr. Feeney is a great adult mentor too. He's like a great adult figure character. He's just like he has that like mentor type vibe to him.
Mhm.
And he's like always known as like the Mr. Feeney character type is like known. It's based on him. Like you know what I mean? So
Mhm. Yeah.
he's like very well known. Some of my favorite moments of the show come between like seasons 3 and season 5 because it's when they're in high school, and I think they're fucking hilarious when they're in high school. They pull the stupidest shit. And it's like also like very like un-PC. What I like about it is like they talk about everything. Like
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
they'll just like throw around like virginity and like sex and like just every word in the book. Like they won't swear or anything, but like they'll just throw
Yeah.
around like all these things. It's very like just shit that wouldn't fly today, and that's what I
Very
like.
light. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
light, and they make fun of it, and it's funny, and it's cool.
Mhm.
And I honestly would watch the show. Like if you haven't watched it, well, go watch it with your families. That's like my thing. Is like
Mhm.
go watch it with your families because it's the type of show that like everyone has something to enjoy. Like parents, kids. Like I wouldn't show it to younger kids, but parents and kids. Like it's such a great show. It's such a great like I watched it with my family. I watched it with my mom and my dad, and we went through
Yeah.
all 7 seasons, and it's just hilarious. The whole show throughout is just so funny, and it has something in it for everyone. So highly recommend it. A show I'm pretty sure is probably on no one's list. So yeah.
Mhm.
Do
Interesting.
you watch Girl Meets World?
I have never seen either of them. To be
Okay.
honest.
Yeah, honestly, Girl Meets World isn't bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not
Yeah.
horrible. I like people like watched a lot of my friends. I remember in like 2015 were super excited about Girl Meets World because they thought
They
it
watched
was.
Boy Meets World.
So no, they
Okay.
didn't watch Boy Meets World. So they were like, oh, it's just like a last ditch. Like Sabrina Carpenter was like a big deal at the time, and she got cast on the show. And so
Who's she?
she's like a
She was in-
musical artist and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But she's like pretty famous now. Everyone knows Sabrina Carpenter. Or,
Yeah,
like, a
I've
lot of
heard her
people know
name.
her.
That's why.
And when you see her face, you're like, oh, that's her.
Oh, I
Um,
see. Yeah.
But yeah, so Sabrina Carpenter was on the show, and like Fred Savage, who was on Boy Meets World, is like known to be like an iconic actor. Same with Danielle Fishel. They're both like super iconic. So
Mhm.
everyone was like, oh my God, like that's so dope. And even my parents were like, dude, Girl Meets World's coming. And I was like, what do
Yeah.
you care? Like, but like, yeah, I watched the first season. It was pretty solid. I saw, and then, but they all what's cool is all the Boy Meets World characters return.
Okay. Okay.
And so,
Oh, in the show.
so yeah. So you get Eric, you get Mr. Feeney. He's way older now, but you get Mr. Feeney, you get Sean, you get Angela. Like all of these people come
Wait,
back.
they return as main characters? Or?
No, I mean, yeah. So Corey and Topanga are main characters. Same with Minkus.
Okay.
Sean comes in later, I heard. So yeah, but they all come in. So it's really cool. But yeah, that's my 6. All right. Now we're getting in. Okay, so that was like 10 through 6 is like solid tier.
Yeah.
This is elite of our
Okay.
childhood. So like this is what our childhoods we think were built on.
Now,
On
public
in terms of
disclaimer
TV.
here.
Yeah.
My 5 through 2, there is, if I could rank them all the same, maybe I would, but there is no ill will to any of these shows. I
Yeah.
love all of them equally.
Same. I think I probably love my
5 through
top
2.
5. I think I'd say I probably love my top 6 all equally.
And
So
these are Okay, yeah, I would say my 6 too, I guess.
My 6 is great. I love my 6 to death.
And if I this show actually, and we mentioned a little bit earlier, just want to kind of build it up a bit. But
Yeah.
me and Anuj was the one that actually showed me this during
Okay,
like
I know what
a
you're talking
sleepover
about.
one time.
Yeah.
And I think to this day is still hilarious. I mean, I think I started it in third grade, and then when the show finished, like the new seasons were coming when we were like in fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade.
I think it
I
finished
remember,
when I graduated middle school. It's like 2014.
yeah. So
Yeah.
when I was like in seventh, and I remember
What an iconic
like
finish.
watching the episodes live at that time. It was like one of the first shows I actually watched as episodes came live,
Yeah, same.
right? I
Mm-hmm.
remember that, and it was just
Tuesdays at 10,
it's
9
so
central.
iconic.
It was past my bedtime, but my mom would let me
Yeah,
stay up.
yeah. My sister used to do it, and she'd get in trouble sometimes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
that good a show. I think it
It's a good
honestly
show.
was one of the main factors to building our friendship.
Agreed,
Yeah.
Especially
And
at that age.
do you want to
Like
go ahead
that.
and say it?
Psych.
Psych.
So
Bottom out the 5. It's at number
yeah.
5. Okay.
And actually, watching an episode with my mom a few days back.
It's
Do you remember the line?
hilarious.
Do you
I
remember the
mean,
line?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, where Gus is like,
I have
"You heard
Psych a
about
little
Pluto?"
higher. I have Psych a little higher on my list, so I'll talk about it when we get to that. And I have my
Okay,
own theories on the show, but it is fantastic.
fantastic.
Fantastic. I
Yeah.
mean, you can watch this show at 20, you can watch this show at 10 and
Hmm.
laugh your ass off. Because I think the way Sean and Gus banter, you don't get three-fourths of the references when you're a kid. But
Exactly.
you get older and you're like, holy shit, this is hilarious. Like you start
Yeah.
to understand more and more. And just the way they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it's incredible. Like it's some of the best banter I've ever seen on TV.
And it's that dynamic between the two of
Yeah.
them that makes the show so good.
Yeah,
It's
honestly.
just such a strong, like, it's so good. Like, I don't know.
It's an
It's hard
incredibly
to describe.
strong dynamic.
Yeah,
It's like it's built on like you would believe these two were like brothers in real life. Like
exactly.
they're so in sync the whole time. And the whole thing is like it's all improv. So I actually went back and watched like behind the scenes of Psych.
Oh,
Everything
really?
is like everything James Rode and Dule Hill did was all just like improv on the spot, like what they're feeling. And like
Hmm.
that's why it felt so good. It feels so natural. It's just they do such a good job with it.
I actually need to get my laptop charger. One
All
second.
right.
I'll be back.
But Psych is great, guys. I think you should watch it. Anybody who is like of any age will enjoy it. I'm sure most of you who have seen the show will agree with me. Um, I've watched the show since I was, gosh, probably second, third grade. Like it's one of my favorites. It's built many of my friendships. Uh, iconic theme song, absolutely iconic theme song.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, I was just talking about it.
Okay.
Just iconic theme song.
Agreed.
I know,
Iconic
you know it. So
Yeah.
yeah. But I'll talk more about it. It's a little higher up on my list, but
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'll talk about it when we get there. I think it deserves to be talked about way longer. But
I think our list here is so common. I mean,
yeah,
at
I
least
mean we have a
5
lot of
through-
similar shows. I would say.
I feel like our 5 through 2 are.
I feel
may
like
all
you
be the
know
same.
what like my top 5 is made of. I think we both knew what like our top 5 is
Yeah,
made of.
yeah.
So rounding out my top 5, I have one of the probably one of the best shows. I think it's universally agreed upon is at least in everyone's top 5. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. You love this show. It's a show that has scientifically been proven to lose brain cells. And that's SpongeBob SquarePants, rounding out my
Okay.
top 5.
Great.
So
Yeah, it's coming there for me too.
with SpongeBob, I mean, you can't go wrong with SpongeBob.
You can't go wrong. And
It's just
the comedies,
yeah.
like from season 1 to 3. So season 1 to 3 went to like 2004.
2004 through like 6.
Yeah, the jokes were so good. Like they were so the writing was just amazing, and it really fell off. Right, like now the modern episodes. The reason, like I would say, the modern episodes now lack any like really,
substance
is because the writing is lazy and they focus more on the animation. Right, like they do a lot of weird like cartoon.
They do
like,
a lot of color correction.
Exactly.
So like the whole show is like you'll notice like the older episodes are like way less colored. It's a lot duller. But
Mm-hmm.
you look at like the new episodes, like 2018, 2017, whatever. They're so bright. SpongeBob looks like fucking neon.
And
Like,
they animate, and they like the way they animate them. They focus so much on like their expressions
yeah,
and like how they look that they're like trying to appeal to like 6-year-olds. Like at least put some writing with some thought in it.
yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
I think the shows. That's what like
that's
draws
why
everyone to
season one to
SpongeBob.
three,
Is
season one to
because
three
they're
was
so
so good.
unique. They're
Yeah.
unique. It's a unique show. It's the characters are really unique. You know, you have guys like
Mhm.
Squidward, you have SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs. Like these are all like such a unique set of characters, and you can do so much with them. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like it's really fallen off in recent years. But I
I
mean,
agree.
growing up though, like it's so good. You watch
It's
seasons
so good.
1 through 5, like as a kid, and
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, they're so funny. You can even watch them now. Yeah, I still watch
I
SpongeBob
I
now
still watch them now.
sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Gah!
Me
I love
too.
his laugh makes me die, dude. Like straight up, our chemistry teacher played his laugh one time in front of the whole class, and I could not stop laughing for like 10 minutes,
Why would you? Damn,
dude.
what happened there? Why was he
No,
doing that?
because I don't know what he was trying to explain. He was trying to explain some chemistry thing, and he showed some example through SpongeBob, which is actually
Okay,
not a
okay.
bad thing. But I mean,
Interesting.
SpongeBob laughing is just so funny, dude. I don't understand like what it is with me and SpongeBob's laugh, but I just have an issue. Like,
For anyone that says it makes you stupider, it's like I guarantee you, most of the jokes, like if kids are watching at a super young age, probably go over their head
it
for a
does.
lot
It
of
goes
them.
so
Yeah,
over your head. But you
yeah.
watch it again, and there's like, whoa, like SpongeBob's like really not for kids.
I've seen some really weird SpongeBob theories. I do you want me to get into them
Yeah,
or?
get into like let's hear the theories. What are the theories?
There's one about how the Krabby Patty is actually made out of crabs, and the
Oh God.
evidence supporting that is that first of all, Mr. Krabs is super cheap. There's no other crab in Bikini Bottom except his mom, and
Oh
um,
no.
and I don't even know. I feel like that's just too bad. That's too
That's
cruel.
so bad, Keshav. That's so
That's too
bad.
cruel.
That's
That's too
so
cruel.
bad. Don't do it to him like that.
Sorry. I shouldn't have even mentioned that one.
No,
It's so
that's
dark.
crazy. I've never
Yeah,
heard of that theory.
it's really
Um,
weird.
like I've heard SpongeBob was like, the one theory I've heard was like SpongeBob's like a drug trip. Like it's a
Oh
human being
damn.
that like is on a mushroom trip and he thinks he's a sponge in the middle of the sea.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
That's actually kind of interesting though.
that is like it
Yeah,
could happen. I could see it.
it could happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a. It's not like the Drake and Josh crazy ass theory where they're like on meth and Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
That
that
was
theory was super
ridiculous.
cool. That theory, I thought that theory was like it had some validity to it. I was like, okay, it could make sense. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's also one of those shows that like for me, just like I think it gives like a lot of life lessons. I think the one life lesson that I learned from SpongeBob is honestly just like don't take life so seriously, right?
I
I
agree.
think
Mhm.
Squidward represents all the people in the universe that take life super seriously and are like, I have to do things a certain way and like this, that, and other. They're just rigid and they won't move. And it's like
Yeah.
SpongeBob's just like, bro, I don't really care. I'm just gonna like use my imagination, and then
Nation.
like,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
he's like chill with it, and it's just like
Exactly. Yeah.
he's just having fun, and like that's like
Yeah.
honestly like what the show I think teaches kids too is just like have fun and like
Yeah.
just don't take yourself fucking
So
seriously.
seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I mean,
Yeah.
you look at SpongeBob and Patrick, and they're like two of the most boneheaded people you'll ever meet in your life, or like ever
Exactly.
see as characters. But they just every single time, like they do something stupid, like they just laugh.
Yeah.
Like you say, SpongeBob hardly ever cries throughout the show.
Never.
I think he's
Yeah.
cried a
No,
couple
actually,
times.
in
He
a few
cries a few times.
episodes,
He cries a few times.
there's actually one episode where it's like the goal, like where Squidward tries to make him not cry, but that was like a season 5 thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's weird.
But
Yeah.
SpongeBob, like Patrick, does like barely cries.
Yeah. I mean, like the early seasons, it's just like there's like
But
one
when
episode,
SpongeBob does cry, it's so funny.
and
No, okay,
there's
I
like
feel like that's really mean, but it's really funny.
there's that one episode where Squidward where Gary gets like kind of attracted to Patrick because he has a cookie in his pocket,
Yeah.
and then he starts crying. Like that's like a really good episode, just because it's just perfect. It's just so
Yeah. It's just a timeless show, honestly.
timeless.
It's a show that
Yeah.
like yeah. And it just makes you laugh every time. You can be 27, you can be 2, you could just laugh your ass off watching the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And SpongeBob's laugh will forever make me laugh and cry and die and just It's so good.
Yeah.
And he just sounds like a robot when he does it. He's like, "Hey, Patrick, want to go to the Krusty Krab?"
Yeah, it's very iconic. It's a very it's a noise that anyone can recognize, really.
Yeah, honestly, it's like you will never be more famous than SpongeBob laugh. Anyway, number 4. You ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
Yeah, do it. Go for it.
Oh, is it me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Number 4, I got Drake and Josh.
Ooh, okay.
So
I also have Drake and Josh. It's a little higher on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Drake and Josh is, as we all know, before iCarly, I would say one of the best comedies in terms of, like, I guess, a Nick comedy of that time, or that anyone could watch. And I think I started watching this actually really early, surprisingly early. I don't know. And like, I think maybe like second grade, third grade.
We both started watching it really early.
Like really early.
A lot earlier than a lot of other people.
I agree. And like so early, and like some of the stuff is, people thought, a little inappropriate, but it was fine.
It's right? Okay.
And especially Josh, right? He's like, even at that age, it's so funny because he's so like,
he's just so neurotic.
Expressive. Yeah, it's insane.
You watch him even now, like at 20. Like I was in quarantine. My brother and I got back into it, and so we were watching a bunch of the episodes. And there's the one episode where they bring home the fucking what's her like the Hungarian. She's not Hungarian, but she's like some.
Oh, you mean Yuka?
Yuka. When they bring home Yuka, and then fucking Josh marries them instead of the friendship ceremony, and he starts ranting at Drake. He's like, "I know Asadiko Iba. It's the funniest thing you'll ever see, bro.
Oh my god,
it's so funny. Just the way that he goes off in that moment, and Drake just looks at him like, bruh.
Dude, and there's the part with like. There's the movie Ik Glokma, and like Steve is like, he's like, someone is gonna watch Ik Glokma tonight. Do you get that, Josh Nichols? It's so good. Oh god, that clip, you need to watch.
Yeah, that whole episode. Definitely, like you could do a separate podcast of like the top 5 best Drake and Josh episodes. Like there's so many. Paging Dr. Drake, one of my favorites.
Agreed. I love that one.
Vichy Swaz, bro. What a homie.
Vichy Swaz. Paging Dr. Drake and Josh in, Peruvian Puff Pepper.
Drake and Josh in is is one of the premier Drake and Josh episodes for sure.
Premiere.
That's a good one. Yeah, you'd get that if you were a huge fan. Actually, if you're just a fan of the show too.
Yeah.
But no, just the way Drake pulls girls in that show is just incredible. It's always just been like, what?
Yeah, I was watching an episode recently, and
I can't hear you, bro.
Give me 1 second. My mom came in the room.
Oh, okay.
Is that your charger? No, this is your charger. Can you close the door? All right, sorry about that.
Yeah, you're all good.
I was just gonna say, there's this one episode where they get invited to this party, and like the Battle of the Panther Tower. Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember.
So they get invited to this guy who's like super rich. This is season 4.
Okay.
They get invited to his party.
Yeah.
And then it's like a big thing, right? This guy's like has some crazy stuff happening.
Yeah.
And then Drake then and like his that guy's girlfriend comes to the premiere, and then Drake starts kissing her, and they get uninvited.
Yeah.
It's just a great premise.
Bro, Drake is such a goat, dude. Yeah, with girls, Drake, like every guy wanted to be Drake. That was like the thing. It was like, oh my god, every person wanted to be Drake. Like you just walk into class and be like, hey, and just like make out with a girl for like 5 minutes. It's like, bro, what the fuck? Like,
it was that easy.
Yeah, but dude, Drake's a god. It's like, I think what's so good about the show is, again, it's like one of those duo shows where the both of them are just so good together.
Yeah.
It's like you get them both in a room and they can just make you laugh your ass off.
Yeah.
And it's like, paging Dr. Drake when Drake pretends to be a doctor to pull all the nurses, like that's one of my favorite episodes. I forget what episode it is where they have the potato launcher and he hits Josh.
That's that is
that's the beginning of Paging Dr. Drake.
Yeah, that's why he gets in the hospital.
Yeah, Dude, we watched that episode as a family, and my whole family was just straight dying.
Oh, it is so good. It's good.
And again, another iconic theme song. Probably one of the best theme songs. And then, of course, "Hug Me, Brother."
Oh, my brother. Such an iconic
reference.
line.
What an iconic line. That line, Drake and Josh just has so many lines that like you can't like take away. Like it's just too many references. And like you were saying, Crazy Steve, like Glock Mud, Josh is ranting, Josh hating Oprah.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was hilarious. That's still hilarious.
Yeah, we'll get into my number 4 now. I think you're going to be surprised by my number 4, honestly.
Interesting.
And so my number 4 is a show that I liked. I don't think I tried to get you into it, but you never really got into it. I don't know if you did actually, but I think you watched a little bit.
Let's see.
One of my favorite crime shows of all time, still today. Just, I think best pretty boy character of all time is in this show. And that's White Collar.
White Collar. Oh, you're right. I watched a little bit of it.
White Collar is fantastic. I remember I watched it as a kid, probably between like the ages of like 8 and 12. I shouldn't have been watching it, but you know, it's fine. My mom let me.
My sister and mom loved White Collar.
Everyone loves White Collar. I mean, it's very popular amongst Indian families for some reason. Yeah. Like all my Indian friends love White Collar.
I still remember Neil Caffrey.
One of the smoothest motherfuckers I have ever seen on TV.
Yeah, holy crap.
This dude pulls off anything. It gives me goosebumps even thinking about it now. Like, you watch this guy on TV, just like the suave.
Dude, just look at the picture. Like, it's just so badass.
He looks badass as fuck, and he's probably one of the hottest men I've ever seen in my life. And I'm straight. Like, I'm not even capping. Like, he's so good looking. My mom had a huge crush on him. And I'm pretty sure your mom and sister had a huge crush on him too. And that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
It's a good thing. Like he's genuinely such a badass in that show. And Peter Burke, oh my gosh, classic. It was like one of those like classic. It was a cop show, except it was just like a modern day like suave, slick cop show.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like all white collar crime, so there wasn't like a lot of blood everywhere, and it wasn't like NCIS or Law and Order, but it just kind of like had that slick like class to it. You know, it was like a classy crime show is how I'd describe it.
Yeah, and exactly.
Just like, you know, like and Neil just carries the show. I mean, absolutely. He's probably still one of my favorite characters on TV. Like
really
that I've ever seen. Yeah. Cause he's just like, he's so like, and like just the shit that he's able to like pull off in the show, just like with the art theft, like when they show him do like art thievery in the show, oh my God, he looks so smooth.
It's
like
insane.
MCM for real, bro. Matt Bomer.
It's insane.
And also, it's just like, dude, I still remember like in like 5th, 6th grade, like when my mom was like dressing me up for like formal occasions at school, she'd be like, "Yo, get the skinny tie over there." Like Neil wears one. Yeah,
Neil wears. You want to look like Neil?
Yeah, my mom was like, "You want to look like Neil, right?" I was like. And that was like the big deal. You remember how it was like Harvey Specter for a while? Everyone was like, "You want to look like Harvey, right? You want to look like Mike. You want to look like Harvey." Now it's like it was back then. It was like, "You want to look like Neil. You want to look like Neil. Like you don't want to look like Peter. You want to look like Neil." Like, I was like, "Mom, I'm pretty sure I'll never ever look like Neil."
He is the one you want to look like. Yeah.
But yeah, Neil Caffrey. Oh my gosh, one of the best characters.
Crap.
I think the show overall is like just really good in terms of just like the plot is always changing. I feel like the show goes where Neil goes. That's really what it is, right? Mm-hmm. The more Neil you get, the better the show. Because that's how I feel. I think Neil and Peter carry the show. Every other character really lets it down. If you have like a solid 3rd, 4th, 5th character in that show with semi development, the show is so much better. That show is so much better. But go.
I think it already is pretty. It
already made my top 5 just on 2 amazing characters. Imagine if like Mozzie had more development. Like, I still think like the show.
And he was just the fun kind of funny.
Yeah.
Kind of just the funny guy, you know, and it was okay.
Yeah.
And can you believe Matt Bomer was also in Magic Mike?
Yeah. You know, I think he's gay, I believe.
He is gay. It was,
my mom was like, "Damn it." No, I'm pretty sure every girl in America was like, "Damn."
Oh, man.
Yeah, but he is he's just so good in that show. I mean,
Yeah.
I went back and rewatched it like a couple years ago, and he's just as smooth. Like when
It's
he
insane.
like they do like the prison break, like the first episode where he breaks out of prison. Sorry,
Oh,
spoilers.
yeah.
Oh
But
my
it's
gosh,
not. I mean, that's where the premise of the show is established.
that
So yeah.
sequence is so cool. Like he just makes
Yeah.
it look so easy. It's
Oh,
like
speaking of Prison Break, remember the show Prison Break?
yeah, that doesn't make my
Yeah.
list because I watched it.
Doesn't make your
I
list.
watched it when I was a kid, but I didn't understand a single thing. So I
Yeah,
went back and watched it when
same.
I was a teenager. It makes my list. I would say probably bottoms out my adult top 10. First season of Prison Break is one of the best things I've ever seen on television.
Oh, really? Really?
Have you seen the first season?
I have not.
Watch the first season of Prison Break. You will not stop.
I have not watched many actually adult TV shows. Oh, that's interesting.
Prison Break the first season of Prison Break is great. The second season is good for like the first half, and then it drags. And then the third and fourth season just drag completely. And they tried to bring it back.
Really?
Do you remember that? They did like a revival where
Really?
Michael, like,
Dude,
I
just
don't wanna
remember
spoil it, but-
someone got his toe cut off.
Yeah,
and
it's
that
a
was,
very, very graphic show.
and that was like disgusting for me. I was like, my sister was watching it, and I was like in second grade. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get that.
I'm too young for this.
But yeah, I mean, this show, I'm go back to White Collar. This show is carried by Peter and Neil. I mean,
Yeah.
truly. They have one more solid character. I think this show makes my number one. It's so good. And it's good even now. So if you have not seen White Collar, and I urge all my viewers, please go watch White Collar. It is your
fair.
next favorite show. You will binge it. It's so good. I know Keshav hasn't watched a lot of White Collar, but I
know though. It's a good show.
he
My
really
sister
enjoys
loved
it. Yeah,
My mom loved it too.
yeah, it's like, and it's a clean crime show. I think that's why people like it. It's because it's relatively clean. There's not a lot of like sex or violence, and it's just like elegant to watch on TV. So White Collar. And I remember Psych and White Collar used to go back and forth, like who was the number one rated show.
And
like
USA,
Psych, White Collar, Psych, White Collar. It was like So both those shows at the same time, we were blessed. I mean, Anyway, number 3. Go for your number 3.
Number 3. We actually recently just talked about it. It is SpongeBob. And I mean, I just put it over Drake and Josh and Psych just because.
Yeah, that's a
that is like, because that's been going on. I've been watching it for so long.
Yeah.
And like, I still watch it now, right? Like, as much as I watch Drake and Josh and Psych now, I mean, it's a super small gap. But
I think this whole top 6 for me is like a couple episodes here and there.
Yeah, I can't even like.
Yeah.
But my number 1 is definitive. My
number 1 is the definitive show of my childhood, and
my number 1 you made. It's actually not the same as yours.
We have a different number 1. I already know we have a different number 1. Yeah.
Yeah. My number 2 is.
No, I'll go say my my number 3. Right?
Oh yeah, number 3. I was just gonna say my number 2 is probably the same as your number 1, just as a. I don't know actually.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think
really?
so. Yeah, I may have probably forgotten it off my list, which will make me cry. But my number 3 is Arthur.
Okay. It was coming. I thought it was gonna be your number 1 for a second.
Yeah. No. My number 3 is Arthur. Okay, so I have a PBS Kids show in my top 5. Yes, it is a great show. Okay, we could talk all about Arthur fan theories now. It's that time.
I don't even want to have fan theories. Just
this was probably I would argue out of all of the PBS Kids shows that I've ever seen, it's probably the best.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it is probably the best PBS Kids show. Postcards for Buster spawned off of it.
Oh my god!
Do you remember Postcards for Buster? I just remembered that. Best PBS Kids show ever. I don't care what show you stan. So.
No, I have it actually at number 2 as well. Just surprise. But,
yeah.
Arthur
both. And I mean, let me preface by saying this. I think both of us grew up on this show.
Yeah.
This is the best, probably one of the best shows that both of us have seen. Like, in terms of just our childhood, obviously our adulthood. This show, I don't even think Arthur makes my top 10 in my adulthood. But yeah, I mean, but I wish they would just fucking graduate the 3rd grade.
Yeah. Wait, don't they? Didn't you tell me they do eventually?
20 years later. Bro,
20 years later.
after I turned 20, they fucking graduate to 3rd grade. Remember I sent you that headline at
Yeah.
at like 12
They
at night
finally graduated.
in like February? I was like, Keshav, they graduated 3rd grade. And you were like, bro,
and,
no
and
way.
and Mr. Rapper is still like the.
And Mr. Rapper was came out as gay on the show, which
Yeah,
was
yeah,
a
yeah.
very progressive thing to do. Shout out.
Yeah, it was very progressive actually.
But we love that for the show.
Exactly.
I think
Stuff.
it's just like for me and you, I think why we rank the show so high is just because we both literally have fallen in love with the show. Like we literally fell in love with the show and we like grew up on it and we watched
grew
it
up in
together.
It together too.
Yeah, it was
exactly.
like a together thing. It's so many memories watching Arthur.
Yeah.
Like Jesus,
It's just
the
like,
amount of Arthur we have watched together is probably like 10 seasons worth.
it's such a. It's not even like it's this is not even a show that needs like a super unique premise or something. It's just a bunch of like, I know they're animals, but just think about it like a bunch of
Just
animals.
people. They're basically people.
They're basically just like, kids who go to school, do some stuff, and just like it's just
Another
just funny.
iconic theme song. And
Super
I say,
iconic.
hey, what
Hey.
a wonderful, great theme.
I would say literally probably one of the most.
If you were to rank
iconic.
TV show theme songs, Arthur makes top 5.
Easily.
Yeah. And
Easily.
Arthur's just one of those characters that's just very like, he's super fun. He's super just like interesting.
Like,
he like
very
has
wholesome too.
He surprisingly has a lot of depth for a young
Yeah,
character.
a
right?
lot of depth. Yeah.
Like he has like you like really get into like the philosophical mind state of Arthur, like what he's thinking,
and like
and all the characters really, they're all really deep.
and like I was
yeah.
thinking like it's like as you're saying it's really deep. It's like, he sometimes there's some episodes where he's doing something that's a little selfish or something that's a little that it's wrong and he knows it's wrong, but then he corrects himself. So it's like a really like, while it is like kind of humorous at the same time, they also like have like really like wholesome
for sure
messages.
One of like it's a
good.
very wholesome show. It's a great show to grow up on.
Exactly.
One of my favorite shows that I've ever grown up on.
Yeah.
Like it's based on the books too, which are way worse than the TV show. I'll give it that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think the books were very good. Even though Mark Brown is kind of cool. Like they used to do like how to draw Buster at the end of each episode, or like how to draw Arthur, which was really cool. I just never could do it, but that's me. But yeah, I mean, I also hate DW. She's the most annoying character on the show. She's the epitome of why I hate people in society. DW is the type of people.
Damn.
DW is literally the type of character that like is pro cancel culture.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Definitely.
DW is the type of bitch to be like, cancel him. Fuck DW.
She was a very important character. I will say that.
She was important, fine, but she was annoying as shit all the time. She's like, "Hey, Arthur, what are you doing? I'm telling on you, Arthur." Like,
it's so funny though. Like at the same time, you know what I mean? It was kind of funny at the same time.
I hated DW, bro. Anyway, we could talk forever about Arthur. Both me and you have grown up on it for a long time. I still think Arthur. It would be popular today if they aired more of the TV. I think they still air more. Like they have new episodes coming out.
If they air the old ones, now it's like even season 10. I remember watching that when we
were kids. They're coming out with new episodes.
Yeah, and those were actually decent. I enjoyed those.
Those were good episodes, bro. It was a solid show for a long time, and now it's just again they're trying to like. I don't know what they're trying to do with it. I mean, I don't, and I'm not saying that because of Ratburn. I personally agree with the Ratburn thing. I think that's a cool thing to show for kids. But like, it's just the show itself has just lost its charm, I think, in a lot of ways. And I think that's the same way with SpongeBob. And
same way with SpongeBob.
All right. Exactly. Top 2, baby. Top 2. Give it to me.
You want me to give my number 1 too?
Give your 2. Just give your 2.
Just my 2. Okay, so my 2 is Arthur as well.
Okay. So we already talked. Do you have anything to say about it?
I was gonna say I know it's super high, but as you said before, like there's reasons to justify it, right? There's definitely like just because the role it had in our childhood. I think it deserves that spot.
Yeah, I agree with you.
With your number 2.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
My number 2, I think you know what it is. Probably one of my favorite shows. We grew up on this show together. Best kid teen TV show I think of all time. That applies to today's world. Drake and Josh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
The show has just a fantastic concept, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
It's just, and like the characters just feel real and authentic,
Very real.
and they feel just like they're like when you watch Drake or Josh. Sometimes we'll be like mood, like it's just like I feel that way. Like
kind of relatable.
It's just like I feel the way that they're like I feel what they're feeling. They're like a classic like white suburban family in San Diego. Like they're stepbrothers. Like obviously the stepbrothers thing adds like a whole different element to it because they're trying to go like all opposites and how they can still be together. And I mean, yes, like there's a little like teen elements to it, and there's like very like 2000s elements to it, but I still think the show's fucking awesome.
And you know what I think is like really like what I always used to like?
Yeah.
I always thought their house was so nice.
Their house is dope, bro.
There. Yeah, it's insane. I would love to live
I would love to live in that crib. That crib is sick.
It is
so
amazing.
Nice. So nice. But yeah.
What's your favorite episode? Let's just put that there. We can
favorite episode. I would argue it's between Drake and Josh and Paging Dr. Drake.
Yeah, mine is between Paging Dr. Drake and actually The Affair.
The Affair is a classic.
The Affair is so funny.
One of the classic episodes. Yeah, it's like that's a good one. I forgot about that.
He mistakes cumin for cinnamon. It's just so good.
The whole show is so funny. I think when Drake and Josh are spying, it's like it kind of reminds me of Sean and Gus.
Yeah. It's a similar dynamic.
Yeah. It's like, bro, shut up. Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this is another show that, like, I mean, like I was saying earlier, it's just exploded in quarantine, and
exactly,
there's something that there's still demand for. People really want these characters to come back. I think even since the show ended in like 2004, everyone has been like, come back, or not 2004, 2007. Everyone's like, come back, and sure enough, 2021, I think we're getting a reunion. So I'm pumped about that. I think it's gonna be awesome.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be super fun. We'll probably watch together.
Yeah, definitely. If it happens.
Yeah, if it does happen, we will. I would love to see, like, Miranda Cosgrove back because she's, like, developed into her own self now, which is really cool. Like, on the show, she was such a little kid.
We'd love to see Crazy Steve return her.
Crazy Steve return it, and maybe, like, they do some iCarly fan theory, like, callbacks.
Yeah. I'm here to give back your sister.
Yeah, but I know Drake and Josh had like a whole thing. Like, they've been like they beefed. Did you hear about all that?
Yeah, because of that wedding.
And because Drake did some sus shit too. So.
What did he do?
Drake felt like he went out with minors and shit. It was like weird.
Really?
It's really weird shit. Yeah, that's at least what I've heard. I need to do more research into it, but I've heard some weird shit about him.
Yeah. He's done some good shit. Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 2. Great show. We talked about it a lot earlier, so I'm not gonna like talk about it ad nauseum. But Keshav, drum roll. What's the number 1?
Number 1. Oh my god. Okay. No, this show is a lot of people have started watching it actually just recently. It was another quarantine thing.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I'm just gonna say I'm probably like the biggest fan of this show ever.
I forgot about
that. Me and my sister. I'm not even sure if you've seen it. But me and my sister always talk about it. Like ever since 3rd grade, I have probably seen each episode 15 times.
I think I know what the show is. This
isn't even a lie. Seasons 1, 2, 3, and it has, I would say, some of the greatest character development of any, call it a kid show if you want it. But it's gained a lot of steam during quarantine because they recently just put it on Netflix. Right, and that show is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I knew you'd rank it in the top 10.
Yeah.
I knew you would. Yeah.
And it's my number 1 because, I mean,
I get it. Yeah.
The amount of times, I mean, I would have actually loved to put Arthur at 1 originally, or Drake and Josh even possibly.
Yeah,
but
I thought about Drake and Josh at 1.
Avatar was just because I still watch it like now, like, and I'm like the intro. I can name like for season 2 and at least season 3, I can name every episode, season and episode number. Like right. I don't know. It's just
Avatar is huge, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's huge now.
My brother loved Avatar. I never really, honestly, like I think you've tried to get me into it, but I was like never into it that heavy. I don't know why.
It's easier to get into it like when you're like 'cause I got into it like in like 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
And that's when like I think that's when once you get into it, then like that's a good age to get into it, I
Yeah,
feel.
for sure.
And then yeah, and now it's still so good. Like one of the characters, I don't want to spoil anything. Like Zuko, greatest character development.
I've heard
Like,
Zuko's great. Yeah,
any character I have ever seen, it is just insane. It's great.
for sure.
Definitely one of my I think it's another timeless show.
Definitely.
Watched it then, I'll watch it now. But
For
yeah,
sure.
and the intro is obviously it's like it's kind of a
Fire,
meme at this point.
water. Yeah, I know, I
Yeah, it's a
know.
meme at this point. Yeah, all these things are just
But
like
no, I totally get it. It's like one of those. The Avatar was very much a show in our prime, and people are gonna
yeah.
hate on me that I didn't even make my top
No,
10.
it's fine. If you didn't watch it,
I didn't watch it,
yeah,
so like,
exactly.
but
Yeah.
I think you already know what my number one is. It's the one show I haven't mentioned. It's
Let's see.
this show absolutely has like made my childhood. I would argue this is the show that is the most important from our childhood.
Yep, I knew it was
Um,
coming.
it I loved it to death. Me and you both loved it to death when we were younger. We
It
watched
is
the
so good.
first show along with White Collar that I ever watched live that I had a vested interest in.
Yeah,
Conversations are amazing, and that's Psych. Psych is my
yeah.
number one show in my childhood, and I think it has a very rightful place to be number one.
I agree.
I think
She
the
was
show.
considering Psycho one too.
I think you.
It's so hard.
I think you see a lot of character development with the show.
Yeah,
I think Sean completely changes. He does a 180 from seasons 1 through 8, or is it 8 or
yeah.
7? I don't know what it is, but there's a complete shift. Gus
Hmm.
is just like Gus is fantastic throughout the whole show. I think you kind
He's
of
so
start to
funny.
see a little bit of changes with Gus. Um, like Jules.
Oh
Like
my
what
god,
else is there to say?
Lassiter.
Can we just say that Jules is just hot as hell?
Yeah, I'll
And
give you that.
when she wears those sunglasses, bro, in the show, when I was a kid, I was
Oh
like,
my god.
damn.
Yeah,
No cap, no cap.
Turgay or two, you're like, damn, wow, she's
Wow,
cute.
she's very attractive. But yeah, but she's also a really cool character. I like her a
Yeah,
lot. She's like very
Lassiter.
unique, very different. Lassiter and
Oh my god.
Lassiter and Henry are some of my that combo when those two get together
Oh,
it's
it's so
so
good.
funny.
It's so good.
What's the episode where it's Sean goes on the fucking trip to what is it? Napa. And then it's Lassie, Gus, and Henry. They're all like, bro, we're so bored. What do you want to do? And they go to the bar with Gus and they're like, who can pick up the most girls? That is one of my
Is this a later season?
it's a later season.
It's a later
It's when
season.
Sean and Jules are dating.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and it's just so
I
funny
actually want
because
to
they're all so bored and they're like, "What do we do without Sean?"
No, it's such a funny thing when like an unusual pair gets together. Like when Sean and Gus work with Lassiter on a case,
Yeah,
those episodes are so funny because
yeah,
like they
because
hate
Lassie the whole time's like, "Bro, shut the fuck up, Sean." I hate you.
it's so
But you know
good.
what I like about the show is the show, like all the actors on the show have, or not actors, but the characters on the show have mutual respect for each other, even though they get on
Yeah,
each other's nerves. And
yeah,
it's like, and also like if you look at the guy who plays Lassiter, Timothy Johnson, he fucking like during the show or during the filming of the Psych movie, the first one,
yeah.
had a stroke
Unfortunate.
unfortunately, and like he
Yeah,
could barely move, and like he now has just like completely like revitalized his acting career, which is amazing. Like, I mean,
yeah.
his whole story is crazy. I mean, yeah, he like his life completely just shifted. He has an interview with Larry King. I would recommend you guys go watch it. And he even says like Psych is one of the shows that I think all the actors just fell in love with. And you could tell that they were
Hmm.
just having such a fun time on set.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those shows like I feel like if me and you were just like go to set, like we just have so much fun there. Like
It would be
as
so
huge fans
good.
of the show. But
Yeah.
like we would also just have a great time. Like
And it's like you kind of always you know what's gonna happen, but you still get suspense. Like if a show
yeah.
can do that in every episode,
Like
like
yeah,
the yin
exactly.
yang episodes,
The Yin
those
Yang
kept
trilogy
us.
is so good. It's not a
Just went to
trilogy. It's
jail.
like 4 episodes, right? Or
Yeah,
four seasons. It's so good.
or it happened to
You're muted.
come back.
Oh, okay,
My
good.
dad opened the door.
Yeah, no, I mean Yin Yang was like when season 3 came out with the first Yin Yang. Oh my god, that was
So
thrilling.
good. It
Like
was
I
insane.
thought Sean was gonna die. I thought they were gonna kill him off.
I had never been so scared in a TV episode.
And we were watching these when we were young too, so it was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, TikTok,
It is
TikTok.
so scary.
And I still get goosebumps thinking that's one of my favorite episodes of TV too. The first Yin Yang.
The first one was the second one was crazy though.
What? Oh, Mr. Yin Presents, where they kill. Or I'm not gonna say who they kill, but
yeah,
where like that's a crazy one where they come within like inches.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's a great one. And then season 5 was kind of but I'll tell you one of the episodes I watched live where I freaked out at the end. Santa Barbara Town.
Wait, that's another
end of
later season. Which one is that?
6. I think it's end of season 6.
Oh wait, I think I know what you're talking about.
And the ending of that ending of that
is that
episode,
one where Henry gets
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is an incredible.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. And then
do you remember like the music they played too? And we had to wait a year. We waited a year. I was like,
for the next season.
Oh my god! Like, and it was.
Last Night Gus.
Last Night Gus is an iconic episode. Last Night Gus is hilarious. Oh my god!
It is so good.
Because it was like a boys' comedy, and so it was just like it was super funny.
It was really funny.
But I wanted to talk about one episode in particular. Can we talk about Bollywood Homicide for a bit?
Represent.
Bollywood Homicide was one of the first episodes where I saw it and I was like, wow, like that's so fun. And it was one of my favorite shows that did it too. Like they did an episode about Indian people.
They did it well.
They did it pretty well too. It's not like, there's stereotypes in it, but it's still like, it's so good.
They did it decently well.
Yeah. And it was like very entertaining. I thought it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
And they do like Indian dancing and the festivals and all that. And it's Diwali today, so happy Diwali to all my South Asian audience. Hope it's a great year. But no, it's a great episode. And I think that was like one of the first South Asian representation episodes that I'd seen. That was really good. Yeah. I mean, that rounds out our list. I'll recap mine real quick. So at 10, I had Good Luck Charlie and Jesse tied at 10. At 9, I had what was it? iCarly at 8. Or no, my bad. I missed an episode. Hold on.
Wait, 9 you had? I think you had iCarly.
9 I had Caillou. I had Caillou. 8
Caillou.
I had iCarly. 7 I had Sweet Life. 6 I had Boy Meets World. 5 SpongeBob. 4 White Collar. 3 Arthur. 2 Drake and Josh, and 1 Psych.
So for me, at 10, I got Backyardigans. How did he even make the list? I'm just gonna ask this.
Yeah,
it did it though. And then 9, I have Fetch. And 8, I had Phineas and Ferb. 7, I had Sweet Life / Neds. So one of the two. And 6, I had iCarly. 5, I had Psych, which I wish I actually kind of put a little higher now that we talked about it so much.
Yeah.
Maybe at 3. But yeah. Drake and Josh at 4, SpongeBob at 3, Arthur at 2, and Avatar at 1.
And I think every show probably on here besides Arthur in my top 6, I would recommend go watch it again. Go watch it if you haven't watched it. If you have not watched White Collar, if you have not watched Psych, Boy Meets World, these are shows you'll still love today.
I agree.
I think they'll become your favorites.
Avatar too.
If not, I'm just going to mention a couple of the honorable mentions that I had on here. Fresh Prince, we talked about that a little earlier. It's an incredible show. I want to go watch it again after talking about it. Victoria Justice and Ariana Grande. Victoria Justice, my first celebrity crush. So that was really fun. George Lopez, we talked about George Lopez a little bit. Kicking It, the Disney Channel karate show. I thought about putting it in the top.
I actually thought about it too.
It's a really good show. I actually really enjoyed it.
And at that time, too.
Yeah.
At that time.
I thought Leo Howard was so sick. The guy who played Jack. I thought he was so
was he the dojo dude?
Yeah. No, that was like the Rudy guy. But the guy Jack, he had like long hair. I thought he was sick.
The main character.
Yeah, and then he was in love with Kim, who was like cute too. But
Olivia Holt.
Yeah, Olivia Holt. And then another one I had on my list was Merlin. This was like an old British magic show I used to watch with my family. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. It's super good. It's a really just a very good show. I would recommend it. I think anyone can.
Wait, I don't know. Did you? I remember you used to.
I used to watch Merlin hella. I tried to get you into it, I think.
Oh my god, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show. You should watch a little bit of it. It's very like Game of Thronesy. Like I think like people would like it if they like Game of Thrones. They would like Merlin.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's like it went very under the rug because it was on BBC, so like no one really knew about it unless you were in Britain. I don't know how my mom figured it out, but anyway. And then my last show that I had on my honorable mentions was because I think it was a technicality issue that I left it off. Otherwise, it would have most definitely made this list. Is Modern Family.
Modern Family, great
So
show.
I started
So
I started Modern Family when I was like 12 and a half, 13, but I don't really remember. It was somewhere in that range, but it would make my adult list for sure. It's one of my
I've been rewatching some episodes.
Yeah, it's one of my
in the
favorite
last month.
shows. I think you can turn on an episode of Modern
Yeah.
Family and just laugh, and that's what I like about it.
Is
It's really
Phil is just so funny.
Phil is great. I love Claire. Claire's a mood, bro. Claire reminds me so
she's
much
so
of
funny
myself.
too.
But yeah, Modern Family's a great show, and yeah, those are my honorable mentions on this list.
And my honorable mentions. So for that I have Franklin, which was
The
animated
turtle.
show about this turtle.
Shout out the turtle.
That's an honorable mention. Max and Ruby is another honorable
Max
mention.
and
I was
Ruby.
actually originally going to put Max and Ruby at 10 because it
Who's
had
Max
and
and
then-
Ruby? Explain.
You don't know Max and Ruby? Oh, it was like
No.
it was a Nick Jr. show. It was like about these two bunnies. It's just a kids show, and they're just like chilling and doing shit. But that's one of the shows I used to watch a lot. I was may have put that there. Actually, all my honorable mentions are just like really kiddie shows. So
Yeah.
like Dragon Tales.
Dragon Tales. I thought about Dragon Tales during the podcast. I was like, shit.
I was like, it's.
Oh, and let me add another one of my honorable mentions: Wizards of Waverly.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah, that's another
Oh
one
my
that I had. Cyber Chase, Curious George,
Yeah.
Everybody Loves Raymond, all online.
Curious George. Blue's Clues.
Blue's Clues didn't even
Yeah.
make my own.
Damn, I
I
consider.
forgot. And Survivor
Yeah,
makes my
that's it.
honorable mentions, but Survivor I really
of course,
started to get.
Survivor makes it.
Survivor was more so like I ranked Survivor originally. I was like, technicality, I'll keep it off.
Yeah.
Because I started watching it more so when I was older. But yeah, so I think
Mhm.
we both had pretty good lists. Oh, I also put Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I think those are both our
Yeah.
lists. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, guys. We had a lot of fun. I don't know if Keshav had fun, but I had fun.
I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
It was fun reflecting on our old childhood shows, and I think the reason why I brought Keshav on was honestly because we've both just like grown up with these shows, and I forgot that he did not formally introduce himself at the beginning of this podcast. So,
Oh my god, my name is Keshav, guys.
yeah, so his name is Keshav. I'll do a little intro. If you want, you could send me a little recorded intro about yourself, and then I can put it at the beginning of this. So, but
I think they get the gist. They know who I am.
No, just
I'm a-
fucking, okay. I'll introduce you instead.
All right, fine.
But no, this was super fun, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
This was
I
fun.
think if we had our list for TV shows now, they'd be very different.
They'd be very different. You
Yeah.
already know what's making my list. I think you already know like a few that would make my list.
Mine would just be anime and
Yeah,
comedies.
it would be really
yeah.
weird.
would
I
be
know
very
It's Always
weird.
Sunny would make top 5 for sure.
It's Always Sunny would be number 1 probably
Really?
for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know how I'd do it. Would I mix like anime in with real TV
I don't know,
shows?
bro.
I don't even know how I'd do it.
Yeah,
dude.
but anyway, thank you
don't
guys
know.
so much if you made it this far. I know we went long today. Jesus.
That was long.
Yeah.
That was 2 hours.
It was 2 hours. I was trying to go for an hour and a half, but we started talking about fan theories of iCarly, and so things kind of dragged.
And
but-
anyone look that up. I
but,
think it's legit.
But no, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that it was a good time. Keshav, I hope you had fun. I'll definitely try to
Good
bring
time.
you on for another TV episode or a sports episode next time. We didn't talk any Niners, but
For sure. Hey, we're gonna get that dub tomorrow.
Okay,
Let's do
we'll
it,
see about
baby.
that. We'll see about that.
Happening.
I mean, the last time I called a dub was against Seattle, and that didn't happen. So I'm going to stay cautious this time. But I hope you have a good one. I hope all of you have a great Diwali. You guys will probably be listening to this after Diwali. So I hope you had a great Diwali. I hope everyone's staying safe. I hope you guys aren't getting coronavirus. But please like and subscribe to the podcast. Keshav will do so after this. Follow me on Twitter. Follow on Instagram at The Essential Question Podcast. My Twitter is EssentialQU1. So follow me on that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You have any last words to say?
I was just gonna say, had a great time being on here. This is I feel like we've probably had discussions about our favorite TV shows before, and it's like putting it all together now. It's exciting. you know?
Yeah.
Had a good
And
time.
this is something like me and you just talk about for fun anyway. So I just
Yeah.
figured, fuck it, why not put it on the internet?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, thank you so much, man. And I'll leave it here. All right, man. Have a good one.
All right.